Welcome, I'm Crazy Kylo. So this video is the updated UC2 any percent route, which will include a lot of the easier tricks and skips that you might have seen if you've watched anyone do this run. There is going to be another video that will include advanced strats, so if you are wanting to see those strats or learn how to do them, I recommend checking that out. But the intent of this video will go over all of the route, I'll explain all of the tricks, all of the skips, and I'll try to explain them as how I understand to do them. And then I'll also include my inputs, which you'll see on screen as a visual to my explanation. So with that, let's get into this run. So right from the beginning, as soon as we load in, this is for every single run you're going to do. You're going to go to new game. And this doesn't really matter. You can keep it, you can choose not to. It doesn't really make a difference. We'll keep it. But every run, this is how it gets, or these are pretty much what is required if you're going to submit a run. So I'm going to kind of walk you through this. So you'll always have to do continuous speedrun. It's a requirement on the leaderboards that you show the in-game timer, which is pretty much, or it only shows up when you select this option. So you select this. Once you select this, you'll have your difficulty choices. You're going to want to do Explorer. There is a lot of skips where if you're pretty much like anything above Explorer, you'll die. So you might be able to survive on easy, but just pick Explorer, just save yourself the hassle. When you get here, it is going to give you a warning that you have, when you're in whatever this is, Explorer, it actually just like doesn't allow you to have stat tracking and stuff. That's just how they designed it. Say yes, continue on, and then it will always bring this up when you start a new game to just pull open the save options. Just hit circle to back out of this. It's going to make it easier when you start restarting checkpoints, which will abuse to go fast and to make different things happen and stuff. But by doing this will actually shorten the menu. So if you do try to navigate or whatever, it's going to, or like navigate through the menu, it's going to make it a little bit faster for you. Plus, when you do save it, like, it kind of slows down the console a little bit because it's like actively auto-saving, and this removes that. So we'll hit yes to continue, and then this will load, and we'll go to a cutscene. You can hit triangle, and then kind of how this works. So as soon as you hit skip movie, that's when the run would start. If you have your own separate timer that you either have on screen or maybe on a laptop or something that maybe you can't pull it in, that's fine. The only thing that is actually required is just the in-game time, and then it does help if you do have your own timer so you know what the actual time is, because we go by RTA and not in-game time. So that is one thing to keep in mind. And then we'll skip movie and we'll start. So time would start now. Chapter 1, pretty straightforward. Just going to kind of hold to the left. We're going to start climbing the train. So pretty much there's not too much at this very beginning. There's little something we can do to speed up the climbing. So you're just going to keep holding forward or up. When you get to this block right here, there's kind of a little trick you can do, and you're supposed to climb up the pipe that you can see straight above me, kind of where he's reaching, and then you're like supposed to climb around. We can actually bypass that pipe. So how you do this is you hold up, and then you're going to press X to jump, and then like while you're midair, you're going to kind of hold like up and left. I'm trying to hold the angle so you can kind of get an idea of what that angle looks like. I am on PS5, so I have found with this trick, it is slightly more left if you're on maybe PS4. I'm not 100% sure why, but just keep that in mind. So this angle might not work for you if you're on PS4. It might be slightly more, but try to see if I can show this. So there we go. And you're gonna kind of see, you have like a second while he resets. Like when I was on that ledge, you saw him kind of like reset a little bit, and then like that, while he's doing that, you can kind of get your angle ready, and then you're just gonna kind of like hold up left and just keep mashing X. That was where you saw me do like a jump from here. So it's kind of just some inputs that you kind of have to like figure out. Like you could see it was up left, then kind of just left, and I was mashing X the whole time. As you kind of like practice it, you'll get a feel for it. But you'll come over here. Just gonna jump straight up 3 times, and then one thing you can do here to make this a little faster is just tap left a little bit, so you can kind of see that little like black like thing on the rail right there. You just kind of want Drake's hand touching that. It'll just jump you over to the side here, and then you can just jump over here into the train. So that's pretty much like the small like fast things you can do in this early part. But I figured I'd just explain it because you'll probably see a lot of people do it, and it can be kind of subtle to understand or figure it out on your own. But just kind of making our way this way. You want to jump as much as possible. You'll probably always see me spamming X. We're gonna just keep making our way up this way. And then one thing we can do here, so this is kind of positioning for the actual first skip of the run. When you jump up on this, you're gonna hold straight left and you're just gonna mash X. And that's gonna kind of put you over here in the corner because we want to climb up the ladder. So this just kind of lines us up quickly for getting up there. When you get on here, as soon as you grab this first rung, again, this just kind of takes practicing and getting a feel for the angle, but you'll kind of see. So I'm holding mostly like, it almost looks like I'm holding straight right, but I'm holding right and a little bit up. And when you do this fast, you can see because he's got his hand up to grab the ledge. But when I do this, it's gonna, the reason you want to go as much right as possible is this will put you on the right side of the train, which is where we want. Now, generally, if you played this game, you would go through the train and you'd trigger a sequence. We don't want to do that. We're gonna get up here. And then as soon as we pull ourselves up, we're gonna roll like pretty much straight at this wall and into the corner. We want to dangle off this. So we're going to roll into that, and we're here. And you can kind of see I'm holding up and a little left. And so you're going to press X. If you're holding too much up, you won't pull yourself up. So you might have to like just kind of like play with the angle, maybe bring it a little bit left, but still keep holding up, and then press X once. And then hold that like up and left angle. And then you can see right there, I like popped up out of the air. And when that happens, you want to press X, and you can actually jump off of that. So I'll do it again. I'm going to pull him up. You only press it once, because if you spam it, you won't actually pop up. And then I popped up. So we'll do it. I'll actually do it this time. So pull myself up. And now I kind of mashed once I got up there, just to make sure I didn't miss it. And then immediately, because I didn't do anything, I fell. We'll just do this again. But you can kind of see, if you don't jump up with as much of an angle right there, you can see like, now I'm just a little bit further away from where we want to go. But again, so I'm going to pull ourselves up as soon as we pop up in the air. So we didn't that time. So that means I was holding too much to the left. You do want to be holding pretty much up for this. And it's kind of finicky, as you can see. It's not the easiest thing in the world. There we go. And then as soon as you're up here, you're going to hold inspect and jump. There we go. So I pretty much just held straight up. I did hold inspect. You can pretty much do it from the top just because you want to make sure that you land on this side. If you don't do it, you can actually like go down the center of the train. And if you land in like the very back of the train, you'll still trigger the cutscene animation. So pretty much jumping, holding forward, or even maybe just a little bit upright, and then jumping, and then just hold inspect. Now when you get over here, you're going to kind of break the game, because the game still thinks you're at the back of the train. We're going to start just moving forward. You can hold inspect if you want to figure out where you're going, but we're going to make our way this way. I'm going to hold inspect this whole time, but normally you wouldn't do that. So we're going to make our way this way. And you can see still, if I let go, you can't tell where you are. So pretty much we're here. We're kind of stuck. Get by it. We're going to position ourselves so Drake's head kind of triggers this weird camera. And then we're going to hold left. I'm going to let go of inspect, hold left, and press circle. And that'll take cover here. And then you're going to do the same thing. I'm still holding left, press circle, and that'll clip you through. And then you just kind of hold forward, and then you'll hit X, hold forward. You'll hear him jump, and then you can just kind of like hold upright, and you'll get to this. And then you're kind of out of the glitchy camera. And because of this, we have movement speed, or like full like running speed. So you're not like hobbling over. So you'll make your way this way, you'll hop this, you'll grab the gun as you vault, and then shoot the lock. Make sure you shoot it before you do it, because if you just accidentally miss, you'll go through this long animation. And then we want to run and gun. We want to do that because run and gunning is like the fast movement option. You did see me reload. One thing you want to manage is when you reload, specifically for this chapter. If you're out of ammo when you're trying to climb, it will force Drake to reload, and it's, you know, like 3-second animation. So just make sure that you always have ammo in here, or you're just not climbing when you're at 0. Yeah. Just trust me. I'm not going to show you, but it's really annoying. If you'll have it happen to you once and you'll know. So just kind of climb up this way. Try to stay on the right side. And then when you get up here, you're just going to hold forward a little bit. And then you're just going to like run and jump. So I'll kind of show you how this would normally look like, because you're going to have a weird camera when you do this. So you just get to the top. I'm going to hold up. And then after just a little bit, I just kind of press X to jump. And you kind of want to aim in here. It's really tough to like see, but you'll just kind of hold forward and then just run and gun, and then you'll climb this box, if I can do that apparently, and you'll just kind of come up here. So going a little slow in the first chapter, just explain some things, and this first chapter is just kind of unique. So we're gonna go into a cutscene here. One thing that you should be doing, you can see right now I'm just kind of like spinning the controller. So we're going to press triangle. So anytime you know there's going to be some kind of cutscene like this, press triangle, because that will bring up this pause menu so you can skip the movie. So you just press up once, and then immediately you want to be like shaking this controller. Drake won't actually move until you put movement, but you can actually start that when the screen is white and fading back in. So we're going to do nothing here, and we're going to wait until the camera moves and kind of shifts to this. If you start holding a direction before, it actually inverts. It's really weird. Like if I was holding right before I could control Drake, he would go left right here. It makes no sense, but as soon as we can move, I'm going to kind of hold up left, and when I get to the edge, I'm going to jump. You can kind of see that angle. What you want to aim for is like much to this side as possible. But that's kind of how I do it. I kind of hold up, upright, and then when you get to the edge, you jump, and that just kind of, for me, that usually lines up pretty close to this edge here. You can roll off of it. It can be a little weird to jump. I'm not going to show it, but come around to the side, and then you're going to see me mashing X. We're going to jump once, and then jump 1, 2, 3. I think you can do 4 times. I believe it's 4, but you should end up about like right here. Normally you would go that way and you go into a cutscene, but we can skip that. So how you do this, you can kind of see, I'll aim. So this line right here, I would do anywhere from like here, like, I'm just going to show you, like this rusted line kind of right here to this metal line. I would try to line Drake's left foot up with that. So you can kind of see his foot's like, it's hard to show, but you can kind of see his toes are past that line. So that's kind of where I'm going to stand. And then you want to face this way, and then you're just going to push down on the controller and press X. So you would do that. So you can kind of see it doesn't always happen. So I'll be a little bit further back this time. And if you do it right, you'll actually grab this ledge. And so if you press X, you can pull yourself out of bounds here. So this pretty much just skips the one cutscene, which is kind of nice. And then we're just going to kind of mash X to jump down here. Maybe aim for this rock because you'll roll. You won't have a hard fall. Is it even gonna... Okay. So that was actually the furthest left I've ever jumped. But you kind of want to aim for the rock and then you roll forward on it. It looks like if you try going too far left, there's like an invisible wall there. And then as soon as you hit that, that's the end of chapter 1. So we're going to skip the movie. And then immediately,
sure you know where you're going. Don't know your ways.
We're into chapter 2. So one thing you can do, you can actually beat Flynn here. It is really challenging. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it.
Sure you know where you're going.
Even see, I didn't even get it. But you'd pull yourself up right here. I would recommend just coming around to the left on this side. You'll follow him behind, but it's going to make your life a lot easier. And then we're going to keep going this way. So if you jump, you can actually skip this pipe. I don't know.
Remember those again?
It's not going to let me go back, but you can actually just straight up jump to this pipe. So if you are fast enough, you can you don't really lose time here if you kind of just stay on Flynn. I'm going to restart and kind of show you. Okay. So we'll jump to this one.
Yeah.
And then this is what you want to be careful on. So you kind of follow him up here, but you want to wait until he jumps before you like go up that pipe. Otherwise you'll hit him and it'll just push you off the pipe onto the ground. It's kind of annoying. And then one thing we can do, if you jump past this ledge here, come back, and then like pass it again, you'll get the trigger for that faster. So it's like, I can't show you really, but it's this wall that I'm standing at. You'll kind of pass it, you can jump back. I usually just jump 3 times.
Just give me a
when you pass it, come back and pass it again. It gives you that animation to look, because that's required to move ahead. So you can just kind of do that.
Here it comes.
And then as soon as we come up here, we're gonna hold up left and start jumping. Jump 3 times, then hold up and jump twice. And then at this point, you can actually just mash X until you get to the top of this. So these first 2 chapters, there's not a ton of skips. This chapter does have a pretty serious skip. But I'm not going to cover it because this is just covering the basics. Trying to keep it simple. And then as soon as you can move, you're going to jump. And pretty much you can do as you land or right before you land. You're going to restart checkpoint. And that's just going to move Flynn forward. So we're going to hop the pipe. We're going to come over here.
Grab the ladder. Okay, all right. Yeah.
Also, I'll talk about this now, but I have been restarting checkpoint, so you could kind of see that was one of the first uses of why we restart checkpoint, is it moves an NPC faster, or it might spawn enemies in like a different wave or a different pattern. So that's kind of why you'll see that.
Well, we're not going this way.
It's kind of coming this way, the normal, this is pretty much the normal path. You're gonna mash, he's gonna turn it 3 times, and then you can kind of do this. Oh, I didn't really get to show it. Let me go back up there. So like as soon as you finish like getting this valve, if you kind of hold like up left, once you like pass this and you get to the open part, I kind of like jump this way. And then one thing I'll talk about now, you might have just noticed it, but like when I landed, I pressed inspect. I just kind of tapped it. Or another thing you can do is if you have a gun, you can hold L2. That pretty much roll cancels. Because when you fall from a certain height, you roll, and the rolling animation is slower than being able to just move at full speed. So when we can, we try to, or we always will roll cancel, but you'll kind of see like, whenever you notice him roll, just know that you could roll cancel. So we'll hop this. If you kind of have been doing this at the normal pace, you would actually be in front of Flynn when you get to this point. We'll keep coming this way, and then I like to turn the camera a little bit before I come over here, because this jump, you want to be as far left as possible, because we're going to do like a small little skip here. So I jump here, and then we pull yourself up. You can kind of see that railing in the background. That's where we want to go to. So I try to be on the left here, because you're pretty much just going to run at this thing, and if you wait too late to jump, you'll jump forward. So you kind of like hold forward here. That was weird, but... try it again. You can always restart checkpoint. This one's not very punishing, but we're gonna go up here, and then yeah, you can see. So if you wait too late, you could literally see how I just jumped straight forward, like I was holding up right, but game didn't really care. So come this way. There we go. And then you'll grab this railing. It might be a little bit higher or lower, and then we're going to come up here, and then we're going to do the next little thing. So there's a cutscene here when you move far forward enough. The angle that you have the camera here does matter. You don't want it like pointing straight towards the wall, but you also don't want it like parallel with the wall. If you probably face it, so like, I don't know, anywhere between like looking at Flynn and maybe to the left of this window, you should be fine. But we're just going to mash circle and hold forward. So we're just going to keep mashing. And then when you get a roll that's kind of... or either a roll or a wall shimmy, and you kind of pass this point, you'll want to go into photo mode, which is pressing down on the D-pad. And the reason I'm doing this, I probably should have shown it off, is because you pass this cutscene, it actually locks out your controls. So you can see I'm moving the camera now. I can't do that. Had I not, I guess, corrected the game by going into photo mode. So that's pretty much why I just did that. But you can kind of see if there can be some issues. I'm not 100% sure why, but if you get too far forward here and you don't actually trigger a roll, sometimes you'll just pull yourself out of cover and it will just suck you back to the cutscene. The angles that I kind of showed you, like I was saying, like line your head up with Flynn to the left side of that second window. Generally, I've had no issues with it. So just keep that in mind. We're going to keep coming this way. So that pretty much is bypassed a cutscene. And then we're going to press triangle when we get to this door. And this is kind of the next skip we're going to do here. So this one's pretty easy. During this cutscene, hold straight down. The reason for this is if you hold any other direction, you will move Flynn out of the way. And his positioning out of this cutscene allows us to do something interesting. So hold down, and he's going to stay there. And I kind of line myself up like here on the stairs, maybe the second stairs. So we're pretty much going to use an NPC to clip through the door. This is the only time that, or this is one of the most useful things with NPCs we don't get to do too often. So you kind of position yourself here, and then you're going to like roll forward and a little right to kind of like hug, or pretty much roll into, I'm going to say, Flynn's left leg. And then you're going to just keep mashing circle, and then you're going to kind of hold upright. We're trying to make Drake take cover beyond the door, which for whatever reason, when you roll into an NPC like this and there's cover near you through a door specifically, it will let you clip through. So you can kind of see just like that. For whatever reason, it just let me clip through. So now we're through here. We're just going to make our way through as normal. Well, mostly normal, because normally if you come through here, you would hop down and you'd enter into a little tutorial. And one thing we can do is, I'm going to say, it's called like inspect jumping, I think. So we're going to take cover behind this. And then how this works is we're pretty much going to jump over the tutorial trigger. So I'm going to vault this, and I'm going to hold inspect. And when you hold inspect, you can't see it as well. Like there, you kind of see like how I hold inspect, and it zooms in, and then the dark bars show up like it's a cinematic almost. Right when you start to see it like zoom in, after you vault, you're gonna let go, and then you're just gonna just spam jump and hold forward. If for whatever reason when you do that, it kind of creates a platform for you or under you for a little second that lets you jump off of it. So holding forward, and this is probably hard to explain or show, but I'm actually using some variation of a claw here. I'm using my thumb to hold forward on the stick, and then I'm using my left index finger on what will be inspect, so up on the D-pad. So I'm gonna vault over this, hold inspect, and then you could see there it just like slowly started to zoom in. You let go of inspect and you jump, and I hold forward that whole time. And you can kind of see if you do that, you jump right over this trigger. So we'll keep coming this way, normal way. A jump when you get to these corners, and then we're going to pull ourselves up here, and you should just be able to run up here and take both of them out. I don't know, you might have to restart checkpoint depending on Flynn. We're fine. Well, just do it just in case. But yeah, so you could do it right after. I think he needs to be here. The reason I'm not moving though is because there is one thing we can also do here. We can kind of allow ourselves to move during a cutscene. So if we go into photo mode, like right before we trigger the cutscene, it just breaks the game for some reason. So it's kind of like you'll jump here, and then kind of when you land, it's like around this spot. You're just going to go in and then close it. And you can see I can move now. So we're just going to keep coming this way. We'll take out this guard. And then this kind of has to happen somewhat quickly because the guards, like if you don't kill them fast enough, they'll alert, and then you have to redo this. But we're going to do a similar thing. We're going to do another inspect jump, but instead of jumping, we're going to roll. So if you're not comfortable with rolling, you could jump. It doesn't really make a big difference. So we're going to do that. It's going to zoom in. This one's a lot harder to see because it doesn't go through the animation. You really just kind of get a feel for the timing, but you could jump. Like, you could just do that. But I would definitely practice, like, doing that so you kind of know the timing, and then you can do that. If you're not comfortable with that at all, you could just jump off the balcony towards them. But you can see, like, me doing that allowed me to kill these guys before they could get anywhere. And then when you stand right here, this is literally the cutscene trigger. So now we'll just keep going as normal. I think that just broke some game audio and stuff, but that's okay. So you'll come back here, or you'll just drop straight down, roll into this.
1, 2, 3. Alright, go. You got it. Yeah. Hurry. Okay. Go.
So this is one nice thing about some advanced strats, is there is like one big skip that skips pretty much everything we're doing right now, which is definitely worth learning, but for the time being, it's not too big of an issue, especially when you're starting. But, and I'm going to pause to explain this. So as soon as you can move, you're literally on a timer. I think the window's a lot tighter if you mess this up your first time, but it's like you can still do the same pathing and it still should work. It's a little bit tighter. One of the guards will see you a little sooner, I think. So you're going to jump. I jump 3 times to get to the stairs, and then just pretty much follow the pathing that I'm doing. So I'm going to roll down these stairs, kind of jump on this one, and then jump as much as you can because you want to go quickly. And then you're going to come up this pot. Jump a little closer, you won't have that weird grab. And then I come to about this side of the vine, jump over here. If you hear him gasp, that's actually good. You're going to come up here and just pull yourself up. And then we're going to jump up left. So I was actually a little slow, but you could kind of see. So the guy below me, I can't actually turn it, spotted me. Or maybe that wasn't. But now, well, maybe, hopefully we get to see that this still works. But we're going to come this way. Try to jump this way. Don't jump like a straight left as I did last time. Should still work. So you can see, like, I'm not wasting any time trying to do this. So he didn't gasp, but we should still be fine. But we'll jump this way, press circle, and then just kind of hold forward and jump. And then when you land, we'll skip the movie. And then don't miss. So I'll take out, I always take this guy out. Flynn will get the other guy down low. And then if you're quick enough, you can get this guy before you have to kind of walk around the pillar. And then there's a small little skip here. It's probably worth learning. It saves about 10 seconds if you do it first try. You're supposed to just push the cart with Flynn. But we can actually bypass that. So if you kind of line yourself up with this edge here, the cart, and just jump up here. You want to make sure you're as far left as possible. And then as soon as you do this, I'm gonna hold like down left and press X. And this is like, I do it at the same time. And it's gonna just grab the ledge here. So I'm gonna do that. So this takes a little bit of practice. I'll do it again. So you want to be as far left as possible, and then like just gonna do this. You're gonna press like down and left and X, and he'll grab that. If you're a little too far to the left, or like holding too far down, he'll just jump this way. Or if you're too far, like holding maybe too far straight left, he'll like jump against this, or you'll jump this way. So that's how I've kind of learned it. It's not too bad once you get used to it, but it's just something to know. And then yeah, you'll just kind of like, once you get up here, just kind of wait for Flynn. So he's going to throw a rope up right here, so just kind of wait over here. And then as soon as you hear it click, you can grab the rope. So pretty much just hold forward and press X when you hear that. And then we're going to climb this way, and then we're going to go down 1 level, and then we're going to shoot this guy as the door opens. That'll kind of just free up. And then we're going to jump 3 times. And then instead of going around, if you press nothing on the left stick and just press X to jump, you'll grab this higher ledge. And then you can just hold back right and jump. And you'll kind of a little bit faster than going all the way around. And we're just going to keep coming this way. And then I'm going to show this because this is technically an older strat. If you want to, you could just go around. There's a cutscene here, a little 10-15 second cutscene. Otherwise, you can come here. There's a little trick you can do to bypass this whole thing. So we're going to take cover on the edge. We're going to kind of clip through the wall and abuse this. So you're going to kind of come at this angle here. And then you're going to take... Or, I screwed it up. But come at a sharper angle and then just roll into it. Wait, is that... Oh, wait, no. You don't need to roll into it. It's been a while. So... just like you'll come at this angle and then you can kind of do what I'm doing. So just kind of like walk at that diagonal and then aim and press circle. And you can kind of see here immediately, like I'm already aiming through the window. It's really weird. So you'll kind of aim. This is where we're going to jump. So it's kind of hard to see. This is where you would go through the cutscene and then you'd come over here. You'd kind of wait for Flynn, then jump across and shimmy. So if we do this, I'm going to show again. So you can come over here. You can just aim at the corner, hopefully. And then you can just hold, or you'll press circle and he'll take cover. And then I kind of aim about right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold left. So I'll hold left now. And when I press circle, I'm going to let go of aim. And then I'm going to rotate. When I press circle, it's going to clip me through the wall. And at that point, I'm going to kind of transition my aim to like upright. And then I'm going to jump. So I'll kind of show you. So I'm going to do that. And I land over here. So it's almost simultaneously, like as soon as you press circle, you're going to rotate the stick upright from left to up left. And then you're going to jump. And then when you do that, you'll pretty much bypass that whole thing. And then one thing you can also do, you can kind of turn the camera so it's inside this. Doesn't really make any difference. So just you can kind of turn this with it and just only have to hold right. And jump across this, and Flynn's going to teleport to us. And then I like having subtitles on, but you don't need them. As soon as you hear Flynn say donuts, we're going to do a restart checkpoint. Just kind of speeds things up a little bit.
Oh, shit, that was close. Alright, no more donut.
Okay, so donuts, restart checkpoint. So that's the trigger for that checkpoint. And we're going to hop down over here. And then as soon as we see Flynn grab his back right there, like he's grabbing some rope, we're going to restart checkpoint again. And that basically just skips waiting to watch him throw the rope. So then we're going to come over here, do this as normal.
As always. There's a guy above you. There's a guy above you.
Throw him off. And then there's not really too much more to this if you are doing this route. So you'll come up here. I like to grab this corner, and then this is kind of just a little bit of movement thing. So jump, so you grab about right here, and then hold up right, and then hold like up and a little right for this. And you should grab this one. You just kind of get a feel for it, and it's just like it's kind of the fastest way to get up this way. And then as soon as you get here, you want to shoot him. And then jump. If you wait too long to shoot him, for whatever reason, you might get like a weird camera bug when you hop over this. We'll see if it happens.
Nearly there.
Okay, it didn't do it. Like, it will stay zoomed in up there. So if that happens, just restart checkpoint and it will put you back up there. And we're going to come this way. And then a little faster thing we can do. This is really finicky, but if you jump around like right around here, coming this way, you can just get a jump straight over this railing. It's a very small time save. You can see it's not the easiest thing in the world, but... And then you're just going to punch him and then just walk into this pillar.
Can't get any closer with the tower lit up.
And then
like
that's
that.
pretty much this chapter. The rest is just kind of an auto-scroller.
That's my girl.
We're just going to come this way. then we're just going to kind of wait by the door. The only thing to be careful of, like, you could like very lightly hold forward and left and walk into Flynn. But if you're like holding, like running at him, when he's like ready to move to let you in, for whatever reason, it'll like, it will slow you down. It's kind of weird. So
Ladies first.
I would just kind of chill there.
Cute.
That way, as soon as he backs up, you're just like ready to go straight into this. And then mash triangle, so
Here we go.
as soon as we hit the cutscene, we're ready to skip. And then we're going to run forward. And then this guy will shoot you, so to avoid that, roll down the stairs. You just have to do one roll.
Now I'm screwed.
And then you saw I roll cancel there. We're going to come up this way. Roll cancel. That's supposed to happen, because you're not supposed to have ammo coming into this. And then there's one more small trick. You can try it if you want. It doesn't save a ton of time, but like you can skip these whole set of stairs. You jump kind of like, it's like just past the ground here. Like it's like a frame as soon as you stand on or enter the first stair. If you wait too late, you'll bonk your head. But it saves like a minuscule amount of time. That will happen. It's just like the fastest way to get down there, but if you're almost better, like if you jump in too late, that way you don't bonk your head at all and you just go down normally. But small little thing you can do there. And now we're getting into chapter 3. So chapter 3 starts introducing a lot of tricks, because now we have full access to everything. So run and gun is your fastest option here. So just kind of running through the water, kind of working around like the wood in the water so don't get stuck.
All right. First one set. Don't touch the button.
This one?
So you jump to the right and then left. So you want to go around him. So I usually jump in the water here because it's so short that trying to run and gun is just not worth it. So I just jump this way.
I'm sweating like a hooker in church.
And then again, you can roll. You want to roll cancel. I like using inspect, but you can aim now that we have a gun. And then for these guys, everyone's going to take 2 bullets if you're an explorer. So you want to kill them before they get behind you. So you kill them. Headshot's 1. So you want to kill like these 3 guys and then kill this guy as well. And then when these guys drop, if you're quick enough, you can pretty much catch them as they're landing. So you'll kill those 2 guys, you'll come over here, you'll kill the guy behind the log, you'll kill this guy, you'll kill the guy up here with the AK, and then you'll kill the guy standing here. And then that's when I start backing up a little bit to kill them, because we actually want to come this way to do like the first glitch. So this is kind of the first use. The reason this game's so broken is because when you do any sort of action with the journal, for whatever reason, it just breaks the game. So this first one's called a journal launch. Pretty much what we're going to be doing is we're going to use the journal to launch up into the air where you normally wouldn't be able to. And how I position this, you can kind of see this is a really weird edge to do this. The best way I found to do journal launches are using like a straight right angle. So like you'd only have to tap right. You can do them diagonally, but I found the timing for when you press journal is a little bit more difficult. So I try to position Drake along this edge. So you want to aim to do this, and then you can kind of see it. He's got his foot over the side, and that little stagger animation where he like sidesteps to step back on is what you're looking for. So you can see if I went too far to the right, you fall off. So you kind of just get a feel. You want his foot a little bit off the edge. And then how this is going to work, we're going to let him go through the full stagger, and then I'm going to hold right and then press journal. And you can kind of see right there, I went up a little bit. But there. So as soon as that happens, I'm going to close the journal, and then you can just jump out of it. So I'll do it again, just so you can see. This does take a little bit of practice to kind of just get familiar with, but I'm going to stagger, I'm going to hold right, and then I'm going to press journal. And you can stay in this forever, but obviously we're trying to go fast, so you can't do anything in here. So we're going to close the journal and then just mash and hold forward. And you'll pull yourself up here. And then we're just going to keep coming this way. It's probably better to just run by the box. Sometimes you can jump on top of it, but probably just easier to jump. And then this is... Next thing we're going to do now is called a journal extend. So similar to the journal launch, we are going to use the journal to basically walk on air longer. And I should explain these tricks a little bit better. The main reason these tricks work is because we have a gun. If you are just standing here and I'm doing nothing and I take out the journal, you could see I had to put the gun away before I could take out the journal. And now that I don't have a gun, he immediately grabs it, right? So the reason these tricks work is because we have a gun, it delays that animation of pulling out the journal. So we're kind of abusing that to defy gravity and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to run along this edge. I kind of line it up here, and we're going this way. This is kind of where you line it up. So we're kind of aiming for this. You want to have the gun out, and then when you're ready, like if you wait too long, Drake will naturally put the gun away. So you don't want to wait too long, but kind of stand like in the center here, line up with this edge, and you're just going to this edge of the rock here. And right before we cross over, probably about like right here, if you do it too late, you'll just fall down. Like nothing will happen if you do it too late. So you do kind of want to do it a little early, but if you do it too early, back here or something, you won't have enough distance. So I'm going to aim about like right here. I'm going to hold forward. I'm pressing journal. I spam it a lot just to make sure that you get it, because if you press it once, you never know. And then you're going to hold up and forward. And then one thing you can do there, it's okay to just keep spamming X, because there is a chance if you're like too far to the right that you land on the rock and then you'll just run off. So you can kind of like jump through that, and then this is what you're aiming for to grab this. And then once you're here, wait like just a little bit so he kind of centers himself, then drop. Otherwise, if you drop too fast, you could just die when you land. It's very rare that it happens, but just know that it can. And then we're going to come this way. We're going to come up and get up over here. And while we're going through that animation, we're going to grab the AK. Couple of different options to get up here. I'll show two of them. So with the AK out, we're going to do that similar journal launch, except this one is up left. I don't like doing this one as much because, like I was saying earlier, if you have to do a journal launch where it's diagonal, it's a little bit tougher to get the journal so you get high enough. So that was actually good. And then from up here you would jump, and this is the goal, is to jump on this ledge. So you could try that. It's a little weird to deal with that log. Otherwise, the other option, so it's either journal launch or journal extend. You climb up here, and we're going to journal extend this way. So one thing to also know is it takes longer to put away the long barrel gun, which would be your right gun, than it does the short barrel, which is the pistol. So you can get a further journal extend if you have the longer gun out. So same thing, right before you'd run off, you're going to mash journal, close it, and jump, and that'll get you up here as well. The only reason I don't like that is because if you wait too late, you'll just turn and climb on the ladder. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come up here. We're going to do the exact same thing from up here to get out of bounds. So I try to stand like as far left on this, not that far left. And you see this like rock back here? This is where we're aiming. So you kind of just hold this. You don't want to switch your shoulder to this, but aim to this. And then we're going to kind of like run this way around the tree almost. And then we're going to do a journal extend. And then we're going to jump. And we should grab that ledge. So right there. This is what we were after. And then we're going to jump once to come up here. The main reason I do that is because it can be a little weird to pull yourself up right there. And then two different things here. I probably wouldn't even mess with this right now. So you can come down here, and this is a little faster. You can jump over to this rock. But if you're too far left, like if you grab this part, you will actually hit the like fighting cutscene down here. So you want to jump on this side. And then you can kind of like, as soon as you enter this beam, you can just jump across. It's going to invert your camera. Otherwise, you could just come down here and run around this side of the arena. You would just come this way, and then you just jump across this ledge here, and you're safe. I don't think I can go back to show you. Yeah.
Always follow the hose.
Yeah, and because I reset, I actually lost my guns, which kind of sucks because you're not supposed to have them at this point. But pretty much what I was trying to show you is you would come from up here, and then it would literally invert your camera when you jump. You just kind of like want to be fast. I wouldn't worry about it right now. I would just go the long way. Like, if you miss that jump, you land down or you die. So, it's like 2 seconds faster or 3 seconds. It's not even worth it. So, just keep coming this way. We're in chapter 4. We're going to drop down. So we come down here. We got to wait for this guy. When Drake twitches, we can take him out. So, like right there, he twitches. So we'll grab the gun, and then we're just going to kind of run this way. Didn't want to get in cover, but I grabbed the pistol because you're going to want to have a pistol and the long gun, or 2 guns, essentially. Instead of doing this fight, we're going to come over here to this bridge, and now we're going to do another journal launch. We're going to do it from the left side, and it's a little bit tougher because you're going to want to just keep this angle. And this is another diagonal one, so how these ones work is you kind of, like, a little bit after you stagger, you're going to hold up left and then press journal. When you do the sideways ones, you can wait till almost the entire animation. That's kind of like the main difference. And then we're going to run and gun. Keep continuing. Don't have to do that fight at all. And should just notice when we hit that checkpoint, we actually got grenades because we did just skip the grenade tutorial. Which is useful because now we're about to hit or do another somewhat difficult skip. Now that we have grenades, this introduces airwalks.
Whoa, Sully.
So we're going to come this way. And normally you'd go through this whole section. There is actually a checkpoint here, and I'm going to just hit it just so you can see. But it's pretty far back here. It's 30-second cutscene. Oh, yeah. So if you're not comfortable doing an airwalk, or this specific one, you could trigger this. Otherwise, if you don't, you start back far enough where you lose 30 seconds anyways. So this is kind of just a safety factor when you're learning. So now if I fail this, I will always spawn right there. But we're going to do an airwalk. So if you aren't familiar, an airwalk is switching guns and then holding a direction, like forward, and pressing journal. And I'll show you here. So I'm going to switch, and I'm going to press journal. And this literally just soft locks Drake into walking in one direction. So I will go this way forever, and I cannot get him out. You can see I'm pressing literally every button. Nothing's going to change that. So we're going to restart checkpoint. But there is one way that we can pretty much allow ourselves to get out of that. And that is by using a grenade. So how this works, and I'll explain the airwalk a little bit better. So you can kind of see, like, when you press or when you're switching guns or whatever, you see like how there's an animation in between putting the first gun away and taking the second one out. This kind of allows, like, this is, I guess, the timing for the airwalk is when you have the pistol out and he alters the gun. That's when you're gonna, like, that's when you want to press journal. So we have this gun out, putting it away, and like right when he puts it down in his pocket, that's when you're gonna press journal. But like, I guess more specific timing is like you'd switch it as soon as you press to switch the gun. You're gonna hold forward, like switch, hold forward, and then when you see him halter the gun, that's when you would press journal. And the only difference now is grenades will actually allow us to get ourselves out of them. So L1, one thing I'm going to tell you now is if you accidentally like screw this up, if you press grenade too late, you'll have this where like he pulls the grenade out like this. And if this does happen, you have to basically get rid of the grenade or restart. And it seems kind of weird, but the first time you throw a grenade, not like your first of those 4 grenades, just the first time you interact with a new grenade, I'm going to say, it actually has a small delay to when Drake actually takes it out. You can see like right now, he just instantly grabbed it because I've already interacted with it. This one, You could see I pressed it. You might not, it was probably pretty subtle, but there was actually about like a quarter of a second, maybe half a second delay right there before the grenade actually like was in that throwing position. And we can use that to our advantage. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to switch guns. We're going to hold forward, but this time instead of just pressing journal right before we press journal, we're going to hold L1. So switch, hold forward, L1, and press journal. And now you can see we're holding a grenade. I'm still holding L1 this whole time because you need to be able to throw it. But now, if we run up against a wall at some point, we could free ourselves from this. Pretty much just having an explosion hit Drake while he's in this state will unsoft lock him. And I can't show you right here because there's nothing this way. But one thing to also keep in mind is if you ever need to pause, which is going to come up in the next chapter, you want to pause using options. So you come to this. If you pause using, what is it, photo mode, that will actually force you to throw the grenade when you get out of it, which is not good because we do need to throw grenades in specific locations to free us when we're doing this. So you can see I came out of it. I still have full control. I'm going to aim this way, and I'm going to hold L1 this whole time. And now if I go into photo mode, doesn't really matter what I do. The moment I leave, it just throws a grenade. So now I'm just screwed. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. So now we'll get to the actual airwalk.
Wow, this place must be thousands of years old. At least.
Okay, so we're going to come over here. I kind of center myself around this rock, like usually a little bit above it. And then I kind of aim for like this vine. And we're going to do an airwalk towards the vine. And you can kind of see like we're aiming for this portion of the tree right here. Like if you're too far left, you'll walk past the tree. If you're too far right, you will get sucked down to the right part of the tree and you won't move. But if you kind of aim, I like aiming to the left side of the tree. Kind of have like this small little triangle that if you hit it, you'll have what's happening to me. You'll kind of be walking down towards this. And then as soon as he leaves, this is where you kind of have to time your throw here. We're going to be aiming for like right here. We're going to throw the grenade like about as we're above the ground. And then the grenade's going to actually hit us. And it's going to pull us backwards so we don't die. Because if you fall forwards, or if it pulls you forward and you land off this ledge, it's too high of a fall and you'll die. We're going to go down here. We're going to roll cancel with inspect. And the main reason we use inspect to roll cancel is because once you have done a journal or an airwalk, you can actually keep doing airwalks by just pressing journal. So like, and the one thing to it is you can do that as long as you do not bring out a gun. So if you aim, if you swap weapons, you will cancel your essentially stored airwalk. So that's why we like to use inspect to cancel rolls. So now if I just come over here, I'm just going to press journal. That's all I did. And I'm just stuck in this. We're just going to go this way because this is the trigger for the end of this chapter. But it's kind of the one time you'll actually get to see a stored airwalk. So with this, we're just going to hold down, hold R2, or pretty much this section just works by unloading the clip. And then one thing we are going to do is, right when we run out of ammo, there's a stair set we're going to come to. After we take one step down the stair, we're going to jump. So there, we're going to jump again, and then when the car rolls or lands, we're going to roll. And that actually pushes you far enough so you don't have this stagger animation before you walk into this cutscene. It kind of delays it enough that you just go straight into this cutscene. It's about a 7-second time loss. It's not huge, but it's not too difficult to do, so that's worth learning.
Go, go, go!
So now we're going to get to another airwalk. This is a pretty infamous airwalk when you're learning, because the angle is pretty going to say pretty small, because if you're too far left or right over the course of a long distance, it's very punishing. So we're going to hop over here. We're going to stealth this guy on the left. You don't want to shoot them because we do need the grenades. And then I come over this way if you're going to do this and get this second grenade. And then we're going to kill him. So there's two strats here. There's an advanced strat, which is using something we haven't even discussed, which only actually needs one grenade. But if you're going to use the airwalk for this, then I would go and stealth that second guy to get the grenade. And so immediately, this is one thing to check. This car, I do not know why it happens. Sometimes when you restart, it will be diagonal. If it's diagonal, it will not work. I think it's facing this way. But you'll kind of know because it's going to be parallel, like with where I'm standing, to this column here. So that's what you want to look for to know it's working. And then one thing we're going to do, so we're going to do a journal extend, but we're going to do one that actually, it's very consistent, so you don't have to worry about height. So we're going to like get in cover behind this wheel. We're going to press left. And then as soon as we get up, we're going to just press left and we're going to press journal. And I didn't go very high because I didn't do it right away. But we're trying to get up here. So it seems insanely high, but the setup works very well. So make sure you have the long gun out when you do this. So we're going to vault, hold left. Wait. Make sure. I think you wait. Yeah. So you don't want to hold left immediately because you'll have that issue that I just had. Like, it'll be running. So you kind of just wait. I'm going to restart, and this will probably break the car. It did not, actually. Usually if you get up there and you have to restart because you mess up the angle, you'll see this car flip, but it didn't end up happening. So we'll get up here. It's up left, so as long as you do that, it should work fairly consistent. That was insanely high. Up left and then journal immediately. And then we're on this. So I'm going to use the pistol. Kind of need to aim to see where we're going, but we're going this way. We're basically going to just airwalk across this entire chapter into the end of chapter 6. That's pretty much what we're doing. There's a setup for this that kind of allows us to get this angle. So I kind of set up, it's kind of hard to aim and show this, but it's a little hexagon here, hexagon of a chimney, whatever we're going to call this. This right edge right here, you kind of want to position as Drake's like right side. And it is kind of like weird to navigate this. Kind of want to like have him be kind of like this. I think it doesn't matter too much, but I do kind of like to have his left foot forward if possible. And then make sure you have the pistol out, and we're just going to aim. And you can see that just pushed me backwards. And this kind of gives us the setup we need. So now we're going to aim this way. You can see I have to be aimed in to see these buildings. This angle kind of varies for everyone because it kind of depends on your tendencies of if you're holding like true forward or straight. Because if you hold like a little bit to the right or left, you'll kind of like Drake can sway instead of going forward. And so this is kind of, I like aiming for this window right here. You can pretty much get anything from like this window to like this sign to work, but this is kind of like, I feel like if you aim about like right here or so, maybe on the left side of this window, if you do hold straight forward, it should generally work. So we're kind of set up with the angle. I'm going to do a normal airwalk with a grenade. We're going to do that. And then you'll kind of know if you have the angle right because I think this might be a little too far to the right. You'll kind of be walking through that building like you just saw. And a good check is usually you'll be going over that second air vent. And then I'm not going to press anything on the right stick. You can kind of see. So you kind of see like how Drake's, well, he can't see it now, but Drake's head is kind of like even. When you're not pressing the camera whatsoever, it'll like auto align. And Drake's head is kind of like even with almost like this left dark wall right here, like this, and it just kind of disappeared. That's kind of a good like check to know that you're in the right spot. So we're just going to keep going this way. When the scenery changes, we're going to pause for 3 seconds, count to 3 and unpause. So it's like 20 seconds, but we'll we'll count this out. Waiting for it to change. Been such a long time since I've done this, so it's shortly. Okay, 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, unpause. So the main reason I did that is because we need to go just a little bit further when it switches, to kind of get past a wall, because now we're like unloading what's behind us and we're loading a new area. And then a good check, this is kind of like a mid check after we think we have a good angle, is if you look to the left here, you can see that actually this is a perfect example of being too far to the left. If you are fine, you will like have the grenade animation and you'll actually like, it will keep going. Like you could throw it and it's not going to just land on Drake. So if you're too far to the left, this will happen. So my angle was just a little bit too far to the left, which is kind of surprising. Or maybe it's too far to the right. But if this does happen, we have to restart checkpoint. And we have to do it again. So this is kind of why I'm not like a huge fan of this strat. But I did get to show this off so you can see this is not a good angle. This will not work. So you can kind of see how now it's not parallel from like where I'm standing with this column. It's shifted. So we just have to restart checkpoint again to fix it. And yeah, you can see this is broke again. Okay, so I'll cut back to when I get the actual angle. Just so you don't have to sit here and watch attempts. Okay, so this was a little bit further left. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So I was too far to the right. So you can see now, like you can see how the arc isn't like hitting something. It's like going like you could throw the grenade forever. So I was actually too far to the right. Where I was aiming the first 2 times, I literally just smidged it a little bit to the left of the window. So my reticle was like to the left of the window, not lined up with the left part of the window. And so now we'll keep going. So now we just kind of wait. So we're going to kind of like load and unload. So we're walking through a building here. And this is like this angle right here, walking into this specific building, is what you want. Once you see the background go yellow, you're going to wait a second and then you're going to pause. And we're just going to wait for the background to deload, so that will disappear. And then now the reason we waited 1 second is to make sure we walked inside this building, and now we're stuck here. So this was the end goal. So now we're going to throw the grenade. You can just spam roll or whatever once the grenade hits. You cannot die, so that is why we picked Explorer, is because you will not die from grenades. And then as long as you don't aim down your gun, you can do a stored airwalk. Otherwise, if you accidentally do, you'll have to just set it up. But pretty much what we want to aim for, I'm actually just going to do another one so I can aim and show you, is we're going to kind of like, you would just normally come here and just hold a grenade and then press journal. Because you want to aim for about this corner. So We're going to do that. I'm a little far to the right, which is fine. And then you're going to throw this about like right here. You want this to hit you and suck you to the left like that. So you're kind of just throwing this. If you throw it too far to the right, the grenade will not actually pull you, because for whatever reason, the explosions when you're doing an airwalk, they pull you towards the explosion. So then when you land here, we're going to jump onto this roof. You kind of want to like jump around this corner, land here, and then we're going to jump down this way. And this is literally the end of chapter 6, right after the helicopter fight. So we're just going to jump around this sign and make sure you roll cancel.
Hey, that wire.
We'll go this way.
That's our way down. Go, go.
All right, all right.
So this is the normal path. Once you kind of practice that airwalk, it's not terrible. It's just, it's a lot longer than the other way.
Are you okay?
Oh, God, that hurts.
I'm gonna find another way down.
All right.
So we're gonna come this way. We're gonna jump up on this box. You jump 3 times, and then you just climb twice. And then when you shift around this, hold left and just jump, like mash, jump, and that'll grab you, like that'll just jump to grab this sign, and then you can just press circle from here, so you don't have to do some extra maneuvering. And here we're in chapter 10, so I'll usually aim to kill these guys.
What's next?
And then you can just kind of like run and gun. You want to kill these guys. I like grabbing the Uzi here because it's useful for the next fight.
Help me
Pretty
with this
good
door.
shot for a
On
journalist.
3. 1.
And when you kill them all, we're gonna come over here.
Just keep moving.
And there's, I will actually show 2 different strategies for this. So we're gonna introduce a new skip, but I'm gonna show
How are we gonna get across?
probably the
There's a ladder
safer
on the
way.
far
So
side.
we want to go this way. So we could just do an airwalk. You have to be a little careful with it, because if you get too far to the right here, you won't actually get up on this edge. So you could just do an airwalk this way. You can kind of see like I actually made it. So you could do one that way. Or this trick, this is called a zip. So how this works
There's a
is,
ladder on the far side.
for whatever reason, if you stand like on a corner,
Maybe we should swim
like
across.
there's a corner here,
Current's too
and
strong. We'll never make it.
we could go this way. It's kind of weird to explain. You could do it from this one as well, but pretty much like you need to be standing on a corner when you do this, and for whatever reason it like just flings you straight to like the right or left. Like this way it would fling me to the right. It's really weird how it works. So I don't even know if you can do it from the left one. I would do it from this one, but how I line this up is you can kind of see this like dot here on the ground. I'll put my foot so it's like on it. Then I just kind of aim like towards the right a little bit. And then from here, we're going to be doing like a normal airwalk. So switch our guns. And hopefully don't do that.
Great.
So
How
you
are we
show
gonna
this
get
again. You want to
across?
make sure you are
There's a
like
ladder on
on
the
this
far
corner.
side.
Like there cannot be a gap here. You need to like physically like and not go any further right. So
Current's too strong.
You're
We'll never
gonna-
make it.
you're going to switch guns and then just press it, and you'll have this. Like you can see a zip just launches what we call a zip, because it literally just zips you past the corner. So those are kind of the 2 ways. Zips, the only reason I'm showing this one is because this one isn't too difficult. But generally zips can be a little challenging just because you kind of have to, if you're too far forward or too far back, you might have some weird things happen with zips and stuff. So the reason I was showing you where I stand is because if you're too far forward on this, this weird interaction will happen. But once you get to the stairs, so the very bottom of the stairs is ideally when you would pause and restart checkpoint. There's 2 checkpoints. There's like when you get across, and then when you get to the stairs. So you want to wait till you're to the stairs, and that will move you up here. And then we're gonna come up this way. We're gonna kill all these guys with the AK.
Gotta take out that gun.
Ideally, not getting punched. And then we're gonna get on the gun, and we're gonna kill all these guys. We're gonna kill him. Who's shooting me? Okay, well, kill him. And then we're gonna kill that big guy. And then once that happens, we're just gonna make our way this way.
Is it always like this with him?
Pretty much.
And then what I do is I'll roll once. You can roll a second time and get a jump, but it's a little weird. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna jump on this edge, and you're gonna kind of hold up left. And you're not gonna do it like that. So let me do this again. So we're gonna roll, and then you hold up left, because if you're holding like forward or up, you get sucked into this animation, and you want to do what I did. You want to be able to get like a second jump. That way you're a lot closer to this edge here. And then as soon as we drop down and touch the ground, there's a restart checkpoint. We'll put us at the bottom. And then we're just going to run this way. As soon as you clear that door, you can't shoot anymore. So you just want to jump. And then I haven't really talked about movement on stairs, but you want to be able to run and gun as much as you can. But when you get to stairs, like, you can see it's like really slow to run and gun up them. And then if you try jumping and you don't get to the top of the stairs, you have this huge stagger. So anytime you get to stairs, you want to roll up as much as possible. And then if you can jump and get to the top, you would want to do that. Because you won't get the stagger then. But now we're in chapter 8. One thing that can be nice is if you spam,
You don't think there were a couple?
you can actually get a 4th grenade out of this. You do want to try to keep the micro. But obviously if you spam and pick that up, it's not a big deal. And then we're going to come this way.
This is definitely the right temple.
Well, that looks like the
We're going to climb this pillar.
There must be a hidden entrance here somewhere.
And then we want to just aim. Well, let me get on this portion. But we're just going to aim and grab this.
Look at this thing.
And then we can just like kind of spam and get up here. So this puzzle, we're going to turn this first one. We're going to drop down here. And then we're actually going to do an airwalk into this corner. So just as soon as you drop down here, aim at this. And we're going to do an airwalk. You do aim a little to the right. You can actually clip that. But it's not really a big deal. Because it just kind of drops it sooner. Because as soon as we jump onto this, it drops down to trigger a checkpoint. And then when we come up here, we're going to hit this one. And then while you're in this, hold down left and spam X. Like that. That will actually get you on this little pillar here. And then one thing we can do instead of like going all the way around is if we aim, we're going to hold forward a little. And then as we're falling, like as we start seeing Drake actually fall off the pillar, we're going to let go of aim. And then we're just going to hold forward and jump. So like that. It's like really weird. It's really weird to like practice that. You just kind of walk forward, you let go of aim when you see him drop, and then you're just gonna mash X and hold forward. But once you get it, it'll save you a lot of time than having to climb around or whatever.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
Chloe, this isn't just a dagger. It's a key.
Well, let's find out what it opens.
Oh, that jump right there,
Maybe, but
I'm not 100% sure. Like you can jump all the way past it where you grab the top of this mouth to press or like get the interaction. But sometimes when you jump, you'll grab the lower edge. So you'll have to jump one more time before you get that interaction.
do anything?
I don't really know like what makes the jump higher or not, so it's just something to keep an eye on, is you might have to get a second jump. And then when Chloe says,
We've done it.
when she says we've done it, you can restart checkpoint, so that will just spawn you down here so you're closer to where we need to go. And then I just kind of hold aim here just to kind of like push up against her, so as soon as she actually walks in here, we can not waste time waiting to get in the tunnel. And then I'm just going to immediately start running gunning. When you're on flat ground, run and gunning is your fastest option. You can see I'm also spamming reload, which is just kind of ammo preservation. You don't really need to do that, but you can. That's kind of just a habit I have from other categories. We're just gonna come this way. Again, run and gun.
A little bit of a drop. Yeah, maybe I underestimated. Looks like some kind of tree.
And you want to jump on this head and just kind of make your way up here. And then there's a skip right here that we're going to do. So this kind of bypasses going down in this pit. So you want to like make sure you're ahead of her. But as soon as you step on it, you want to clear, like jump backwards. If you screw this up, it's a little bit harder because Chloe is like on top of you. But you need this to be open to go across. So we're going to open this and then we're going to do a small airwalk to just get over to the other side. So as soon as we know we're good or whatever, we're going to clear it. But the reason I say... She fell down there anyways, but... Oh no, she's back there. The main reason you want to like do what I did, so you just barely step on it, is if you do have to restart because you accidentally fall in or whatever, or screw anything up in the next room before you hit the checkpoint. If she drops down in this pit, she will die. So you have to basically like be fast enough to drop this and have her not fall in the pit. So once we do that, we're going to come over here. So now we're at the light puzzle. This is one of the harder tricks to learn, honestly. We're going to be doing basically like a journal launch and an airwalk combined to get above this. And it's gonna bypass doing a lot of climbing and stuff. So the best way to do these, like I was saying, and this is pretty consistent if you ever need to do this trick, is doing like this one where when we do it down here, this allows us to just hold straight left. So instead of doing a diagonal one, when we don't have to do a diagonal, this allows us to like wait before we have to put all these inputs in. So you need to have the small gun out, or in this case the Uzi. We're going to get the stagger, and then we can just sit here. We don't have to do the inputs right away, because there's a lot of inputs when you're first learning to understand how fast it needs to happen. So this kind of, doing this one gives you a little bit of leeway. You kind of can like think about what you're going to do. But you're going to do this, and then when you're ready, you're going to do a normal airwalk. You're going to switch guns. You're going to hold straight left, and then you're going to do grenade, and then you're going to press journal. So it's going to be like a normal airwalk. The only difference is this little setup that we're doing here. So I'm ready to switch. Oh, I screwed it up. Actually, I think we might be fine. If you take the grenade out, like I was saying, you'll have to like restart checkpoint. So you just have to be careful of that. Yeah, so I actually did. So you could see like that. The reason that didn't work is because I did take the grenade out. We didn't really see it. And well, at least now I can show you this little problem, but you want to run and gun to get in front of her so she doesn't drop in the pit. And you also don't want to drop in the pit. But that did kind of show you, so that airwalk would have worked had I not accidentally taken the grenade out by screwing things up. That was pretty close. So we'll come back over here so you can kind of see if you mess this up, like you have to do all of that again. Get set up, and then I'm going to switch guns, hold straight left, grenade, then journal. And you'll do this. This takes a while to get used to this. When you do get to the top here, so like probably when we get to about where Drake's at, he's just above like the top of this statue. We're going to kind of like, I'm going to move the camera down just a little bit because we want to throw the grenade in front of him to make sure the grenade's going to hit us, but we're going to get like out of bounds for a little bit. So right there, when I get to the top, I'm going to throw it forward, and then you're going to spam circle. You need to spam it because if you don't and you go too far, you will fall off of this edge and you will die. So just spamming circle lets you roll immediately after you basically unsoft lock yourself, and you will just catch the edge. So now we're up here, and then we're going to go back into bounds towards the hand. So just roll, and you'll grab the edge there, and then just press circle, and you'll drop on top of this statue. And then we're going to roll again. And then the best way to position this is kind of like where I'm at. So it's like just to the, I guess, left, but technically right, depending on which way you're looking at it, of this big like ball. And we're just going to press circle. And now we'll drop us right on the trigger, which is really nice. So I don't even know if I can show it again. So again, stand on the side, kind of think about it. Gonna switch, and then we're gonna hold left, grenade, and journal. And I'm already adjusting the camera this time, so now I know we're at the top. And I'm spamming circle the moment I throw grenade, so I catch that ledge. And make sure you always roll. Also kind of get a feel for where back inbounds is. And then again, we're gonna position ourselves so we're to the left of this ball, or right, depending on which way you're looking at it. And this puts us here. So there is actually a checkpoint on this. So if you do it too early, you do not get a checkpoint. As soon as Drake can move, we're going to restart checkpoint. And this just prevents Chloe from potentially breaking. She does some weird things if you don't. For some reason, she'll just disappear. And then we're going to climb up to the third one and then just hold like down right and jump. And that will actually land us up here. Saves a little bit of climbing. We're going to come this way. You're going to drop down to the bottom one. And then if you hold up right, and you can just jump from there. I did not roll cancel, so make sure you do. And then for getting these quickly, if you see this little like edge right here on the right side of the mirror, if you line it up so it's like the like ring of the mirror touches like this left edge, or on the other, when we get to the other side, the right, and then have it kind of be like the point so it's in the center. That's literally what makes it so it's perfect. So you don't have to wait there for the light to show up. So just kind of as like a reference of how to like how people are quickly lining those up, that's what you want to do. And this is kind of as normal. There is a skip here, which I'm not going to show because it's a little difficult. It's pretty similar to what we just did, but it requires a delay, like an input delay, which can be very tedious. So jump down from that spike to the stairs, or that little pillar, and then we're just going to climb up this one. So,
all right. One more blade to go.
Climb up this way. And then I like to wait for the camera to turn just because you can fall off and it's a mess. And then one thing you want to do is start spamming aim. When you do that, it will actually free up your camera there so it doesn't go super slow. And then you might have seen what I just did is I hit reload there. It doesn't really matter. You don't really need the ammo, but it's just the habit from another category. And then we're just going to jump this way. Switch to the AK, just
need to adjust that other
longer reload, and then you're gonna see at least now on this side how I line it up. So like right there, and you can see it's just like right on the money. So the left ring was like right on the edge, and then the point was in between that band. And then we're gonna hit a little cutscene here. So small little movement thing we can do. I'm gonna spam circle and just hold right. And that's because we can't actually run immediately out of getting out of this cutscene, but doing this puts us in cover immediately, which then lets us run away. So it's just very small. And I didn't explain this on the other side. It's the same for this one. When we get to this like third, whatever you want to call this little poke out thing, that's where you're going to jump onto the stairs. So when you get to the third one, you'll do that. I will show this because this isn't very difficult. This is called cover clipping. So if you take cover on like crouchable, you can see how I'm like crouched and not like fully standing. If you take cover on this and then you use a small gun, so the left one, and for whatever reason, you can kind of see when I move side to side, Drake's like going backwards. If we were to press circle while we're moving and Drake's like back is basically being forced through the wall, it will actually let us clip out of bounds. And what we're going to do is I kind of position myself about like right here. I keep turning, so it's kind of weird to see, but kind of like in front of this on this wall. And I'm going to move to the right, and I'm going to cover clip and hold backwards for a little bit, and then I'm going to hold forwards. So like that. And that literally drops you below the ground. You can kind of practice that. Like it's... I'll do it again so you can kind of see it. The timing's like... The hardest part about the timing is when you hold forward. So, get in cover. I'm gonna move left. So, when you're gonna like move right. I generally find it easier to move right to do this one, just because it's a weird camera angle. But I'll move right. You'll press circle. You'll let go of aim. I guess I didn't say that last time. And then you're just going to hold down for a little bit and then forward. So I was holding back just a little and then I held forward. And then you just kind of run to above this console and that still hits it. If you don't like doing that, you can just do the normal way, like just climb down the mouth. And then for this, there's like some movement here. Let me see if I can get it. So that was weird. So you hold up. And this is... Yeah, you can kind of get a reverse turn. So you jump twice, and then like the middle of the second jump, you'll hold up and jump, and it should just transition you. It's a little weird. This chapter, though, we're just going to make our way over to the left here. This is pretty much just... There's no skips or anything, we're just running through. So you're just going to kind of make your way through here. When you get up a little bit higher, you can just run up to this point. And one thing to keep in mind is we don't actually need to be run and gunning this whole time. I'm gonna kill this guy. When you're in combat, like we are now, you're actually running at full speed, so you don't have to be run and gunning. We're gonna kill anyone that might try to punch us. That's really the only reason you need to kill somebody. We're just gonna kind of keep coming this way, roll upstairs. We'll jump at the top of this one because we're at the top. I kill this guy because he drops a grenade. You don't have to, or you don't have to pick up the grenade. And then when that guy gets close, you want to jump. I did not mean to throw the grenade. We're gonna keep running. The main reason I grabbed the grenade is to throw at these guys, because I've had it happen where I've actually like died, even on Explorer. It's really weird. It's very uncommon, but it can happen. So I've always just grabbed the grenade to be safe. And then when you kill this guy, you want to grab the pistol and then swing wide, because Chloe is going to spawn in the middle, and she will just stand in front of you and you'll stop if you don't swing, if you don't like hug the pillars essentially, or the outside. So we're going to keep running this way. Not really too much with this, it's just learning or killing anyone that might slow you down. Grab the FAL. I like using the pistol here, but we're going to kill these guys on the left. So remember, it's 2 shots to kill everybody. And try to be moving forward while you're doing this. You're going to kill those 3, kill that sniper, kill this sniper, and then there's 2 guys. This guy and this guy. And then we can just come over here and we'll hit the checkpoint. That just kind of takes a little bit of practice to learn the order, but always try to be moving forward there. And then this is a pretty straightforward chapter. The only thing to know is every couple seconds you need to aim in. If you don't, you'll go through this, I'll show you this long stagger animation where Jeff like hunches over like this and it slows you down. If you do forget, you can just instantly press aim and you'll cancel out of it, but you'll always see like this small zoom in, and it's if you watch anybody, because they're aiming in resets the timer before he does that. So don't need to really kill anybody, we're just gonna keep holding forward. We do need to kill this guy, but you kind of need to wait until he's like fully holding her up. And then kill all of these guys. And then when you get to about like right here, we're going to restart checkpoint. And that the only reason we do that is because we're so far in front of Elena and Chloe that it would take way longer to like not restart. So we're just kind of abusing a checkpoint to move the NPCs forward.
Heads up! Elena!
So we're gonna keep coming this way. We're just gonna wait by the glass. Chloe needs to get by, so try to hug the right, because until she gets into that cover, that won't blow up. And then we don't need to shoot anybody. Just keep coming this way around. Hopefully Elena doesn't do anything weird like that. And then one thing... Yeah, okay, that's not a big deal. But one thing you can do, if Chloe is slow, like you can see she's kind of blocking me, you can actually just have her stay behind you. So if you kind of just like stay in the middle of all of that pathing, you don't have to worry about her blocking you. But you are in no control of how fast they move, so... we're just gonna run this way. It's just kind of an auto-scroller. Then one thing you can do when you get to this, instead of jumping, roll off. Roll a little before. It prevents you having to go through that slow-mo animation, so a little bit faster. And we're just gonna jump up here and we'll press. I'm spamming triangle. I did it so fast you didn't even see the prompt come up. But as soon as you get up there, press triangle because there's a prompt to pull Elena up. And then we're just gonna come this way. And then this is the end of the chapter. So this, you're gonna jump this way. Try to jump closer to this wall, but we're gonna stealth the big guy. This is gonna give us a grenade. We're gonna grab a shotgun, and then we're gonna kill all of these guys. Grab the pistol before you kill everybody. So what I like to do is I'll stealth the big guy like you saw, grab the grenade, grab the shotgun, kill the two guys on the left, pick up the pistol, and then kill the last two guys. You just need to make sure that you have like 2 guns here before you kill them because you hit a checkpoint. And if you don't have 2 guns, you cannot airwalk. You won't have a gun to switch to. So 2 methods of getting up here. I'm going to show both of them. This way is easier, but slower. So this is, I'm going to say, the slowest way. So you're going to kind of like stand like kind of where I'm at, and we're just going to like get that little step up onto this. And then we want the stagger onto the right side. That's what we're going to do here. And then we're going to do, like, once we get that stagger, like, in the middle, we're going to do an airwalk. We did that. And then we're going to throw the grenade when we get to the top here. And then we would just climb up this ladder. The other way, this is a little harder, but it is a little faster. And by the way, I always use the pistol. You can do airwalks with the long gun to the short gun. The timing is a little bit different, and I don't really know why, but it can mess up the angle. Like when you're holding a pistol, you pretty much go where you're looking. If you try like aiming this like at the same spot, you'll go like further right with this, with the long gun when you switch to the pistol. That's just something to keep in mind. But here's kind of like a little bit faster method. It is a little bit more difficult, but you're going to stand like in front of the pillar about like where I'm at. You're going to get the same step up. And I aim about like right here, kind of the center of the gate. And then you're going to immediately do an airwalk from aim, essentially. So we've already gotten a stagger, even though it doesn't, I'm not letting go. Like if I was to let go, we'd get the stagger. I'm just going to switch and I'm just going to do a forwards airwalk. And you can actually, if this one's harder, I actually got it. But if you do it too slow, you won't get this steep of an angle and you'll get caught on a ledge. Again, like it just kind of takes practice, but this is faster because you go straight up into the cutscene. Actually, so this is, I didn't even know you could get stuck on this ledge. There's a ledge below, kind of where that wall is that you generally get stuck on. The reason I'm stuck here is because I'm too far to the right. But that does show you, like, wow, this one's a little bit riskier. So I'm going to aim a little bit further left this time and then do it. That should hopefully work. There we go. So immediately go into the cutscene instead of having to climb the ladder. And then I did put the grenade away, so I do have it. I don't need the grenade, but you have it. And then this, shake the left stick a little, and then just, you can run and gun. Shaking it just lets you move slightly faster. And then as soon as you press triangle, you can restart checkpoint. It will spawn you down here. And then when he talks, you can just pull forward and then press triangle. And then this is kind of like the pathing I'm taking right now is like the optimal pathing. But again, it's like not huge time saves. And then you want to jump across. You don't have to do quite as steep of an angle there. And then we get to here, we'll jump across. And then this is a little finicky. You want to be like... It's such a weird jump. You kind of want to be like on the right edge to pull yourself up, but if you're too far right, you'll not grab it and jump to the wall, or if you're too far left, you'll have what just happened. So it just kind of have to play with it a little, but that's like the angle you want to like perfectly pull yourself up. And then now we're at like the train yard. There's set enemies we can kill to like speed up the waves of enemies. There's like 4 separate waves. So just right now, there's 2 enemies in this first wave we're going to kill. And the important enemies are ones that have either a minigun, or the Uzi that this guy we can actually see, a shotgunner, or a sniper. So those are like the classes of enemies that we have to kill to progress. So immediately, we're going to kill this shotgunner over here, 2 bullets. Or 3 enemies for that one. And then Drake will always talk when the next wave comes. So we just got those 3. We're going to kill the sniper, kill the Uzi, and then kill the shotgunner. Actually, he didn't talk, but 3 enemies. 3 enemies. This is another 3, so we'll kill that sniper, and then we'll kill him. And then there's 4 enemies for this. So there's 2, and then the shotgunner is there. And then the one thing I'm going to say is to pick up the sniper. This is for the next chapter, in case the next chapter skip is a timing-based thing. I'll talk about it when we get there. But if you do it too slow, or you're on a slow cycle, you won't get the fast exit. So it's like a 25-second time loss, essentially. So grabbing the sniper is a new strat to slow that down. But when you hear the car, I'd leave that, and then I kind of hug this. Don't go too far to the left. If you touch the water, actually, or if you go too early, you will die, and you have to do this whole fight again. Actually, kind of glad I got to show you that. You want to wait until you hear the car, or you can even wait until you see it. But if you're not comfortable with it at all, don't even bother with it, because obviously doing this fight again is slow. And sometimes the sniper, or actually any of those 3 guys, can come around this backside. Just kind of know that if you get bad luck, it might be a little harder to kill them. Yeah, I think it's when you hear the car. Or when you see it. Maybe that's better. Q. When you see it, yeah. I missed it, but if you just run to the front of the car, she'll hit you. Not really hit you, but that will immediately trigger the cutscene. So, I was a little bit late. You kind of saw the car spawn, and I was just a little bit late to leave. But now we're gonna do train skip. So this is a pretty big skip. I already screwed up because I apparently can't press up. So we're gonna jump 3 times, hold up to get on this, and then we're gonna jump like 3 more times. And then you're gonna want to have the pistol out, and then you're gonna get into cover here. So I try to stand like close to the edge, hold a diagonal, and then get into cover. And how this works, so I'll just talk about the timings now. What your goal is to be like 40.5 seconds and under. So on the current time that's counting up, if you get below, I'm pretty sure it's about 40.5, maybe like 40.2, you hit a fast cycle. If you get any time after that, within like the next 30 seconds, you get a slow cycle. And it like keeps alternating every 30 seconds, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's kind of what we tested. So that's generally like you're going to hit 1 of 2 cycles. If you don't get under 40, you're going to have a fast or a slow cycle. And that's where knowing that time, whether you get that or not, is what we're going to do at the very end. So just keep that in mind. But how this skip works is you get in this cover, and everyone has a different setup for this. I'll show you my setup. I like getting into cover and holding like the camera angle, so I line it up so the left side of the screen is like basically with like the left side of this like pillar when the train is going straight. And then how this works is you press like left and then right. And you can kind of see how Drake's like transitioning cover right now. But the key to this is when you press to turn right, you don't want to have it be a full press. You want to like press it a little bit and then kind of like arc it around. And then when you get to left, like you want to like press it a little bit harder. So basically you're moving more left than right. And you can kind of see, so I'm going to like try to do this. You can see like how I'm very slowly like creeping forward. And you can see like with my setup right now, it's actually a little bit off. I'm using my thumb, but like I've done other setups where I've had the camera face the other way. Like this is something to just practice. If you're not comfortable using your thumb, you can use your index finger. But you can see like I'm very slowly like making progress, and you just kind of like do this. You do want to like, if you're having issues like having this work, just like wait just a little bit in between like every shimmy, because sometimes if you're doing it too fast, you're actually like you just won't move forward. And you can see like I'm almost like completely off, and that's kind of what we're waiting for. So I'm just gonna keep doing this until I get completely off. And then it should be about like there. You'll see I just disappeared from the screen. And at that point, you've gotten it. So we're just going to wait. Essentially what we just did is we just clipped Drake off of the train and froze him. He's basically still where he's at, like where we just were, but he is stuck in a fixed position now. And if you've ever noticed, like if you've just done these train chapters, eventually, if you wait long enough, you will loop all the way back around to the same scenario or scenery. And that's pretty much what we're doing. Instead of playing the chapters normally, which would be like 7 minutes or something, we can actually clip and just hold Drake above the track and just wait for 3.5 minutes for the train to come all the way back around to us. And I will show you, like if I aim, you do not want to move in this. Like I'm not going to touch the left stick whatsoever. You can aim around and you can like hold to aim your gun, but you should not like move. I don't even know if you should shoot. I've never done it. I'm not going to do it. But you can see I'm literally just stuck in that position where I clipped above the track. And so you're just going to wait. So this is like a nice like middle point in the run. Go and get like a drink, use the restroom, just kind of like mental relax. You don't have to do anything. You can just wait. And like I was saying earlier, so one thing to know is you do want to pay attention to what that current time said. Mine was like 1:40 or 2 minutes. I don't even know. So I don't know what cycle I'm going to be on. But if you do get the fast cycle, like you'll just know, like know if you're below 40.5, you're going to get it. When we get to the very end, you'll see the current time. It will go back to 0. And that means you've hit the next chapter. And if you're on the fast cycle, it will get to about 5.5 seconds and it will just auto in to a cutscene. And that's what you want. But if you get a slow cycle, which I have no idea if I have the slow cycle or not, we're going to assume that I have it. What used to happen, or what we used to do, is we would just wait. And it would take until like 25 or 30 seconds. So it was like you literally just sit there an extra 25 seconds for being a little too slow or getting the slow cycle. And you just have to wait, and then that would just load you into like the fight at the very end of chapter 14. Now what we've kind of figured out, and the reason I picked up the sniper, is if it's kind of just a safety factor in case you do get the slow cycle. We're gonna immediately reset because we're gonna assume that I got the slow cycle, and then we're gonna fight the dude, so it'll just immediately like put us into that fight instead of waiting an additional 25 seconds to go into the fight. So we'll aim. You can always kind of check. You should always be on the right side of the track, so like you can kind of see, like right now this is the side I'm on. If you're looking up to the right, that's how you can kind of check if you aim, like how close the train is. You'll start hearing it, and eventually you'll see it go under us. It's getting pretty close now. But the camera is just gonna kind of bob around, so if it does bother you, feel free to hold aim the whole time. But you can hear the train now, so it's getting pretty close. Again, we don't have to do anything. There is a triangle prompt that shows up. That's basically just letting us know like the next chapter's happening. The train's above us. So pretty much all we're going to do is we're going to wait. We're going to wait until the timer hits 0, and then we're just going to reset. You don't need to hit triangle whatsoever. So as soon as the current goes down, I think it's when we see the tank, so it's coming up. So yeah, so like right there, we're going to restart checkpoint. And now we're at the final fight. It's not the right scenery. And then the main reason we grab the sniper is because one sniper bullet will immediately shoot off his helmet. And then you go through this fight sequence. You just press square until you hit the prompts for triangle or whatever. Pretty standard, but that's what you would do if you do the slow cycle. I'm not going to show the fast one because you could see the record that I had on that was 5.5 seconds. Literally, you would just wait the 5.5 seconds, you would press nothing, and it will just auto straight to that cutscene. So that's pretty much the only two differences between fast and slow. And this is exactly like the first chapter. One small difference. When we get to the yellow, you can start jumping. And the skip we did at the very beginning to kind of bypass, you can do it. It's a little bit harder because you're moving faster. And I can never get it on this because it's a lot, you're moving so much faster, but you can do the same thing. It's not a big deal, obviously. It's like 2 or 3 seconds if you miss it. But it's a lot harder to get in this chapter. So we're just gonna breeze through this one. Nothing too crazy. Besides that, the only difference is we did do the skip at the beginning. To bypass the cutscene, we're not gonna do it this time. The main reason we're not doing it this time is because it's required to like progress.
What else could go wrong? This one holds. So tired of climbing shit.
Oh, this is the same. This time we don't have to have as much of an angle, since we are going to run through the train car. The only thing you do want to do on this is just hold straight down and just spam X a little bit faster. And we're not on quite as steep as a hill that we don't really stagger when we jump. And then this is pretty much, you don't have to do anything. I start pressing triangle at this point because we are going to like fade into a cutscene. Skip movie. And then this fight just kind of takes some practice learning where the enemies spawn, but you want to stealth kill this guy. Grab his gun, and then we'll kill this guy. He's here. And then one, and there's like 5 enemies. This guy is 50-50 which way he goes. He's being very annoying. We'll kill all of them, and then you'll kill this guy, which hopefully they're trolling me. And then you can actually stand back here, and we can kill them as they jump up. So, not the greatest aim, but I still got them. And then there's another wave that's going to spawn up here. There we go. And then you're going to throw a grenade at this. And that will kill all of these guys, hopefully, or usually. And then when they all die, you're going to look to the right here and aim for this guy's head. It's just easier to kill those guys this way. And then once you kill them, you're just going to make your way over here. And then if you're fast enough like I was, like Drake has a mandatory, like after he's killed all the enemies, will like stagger down. If you're fast enough like I was to climb up that, you can enter this cutscene and not have to like wait those 3 seconds. And then we're in this chapter, so movement in this chapter is really weird. You can only walk normally, but if you press inspect and then roll, you can move faster. So it's kind of a set time when you're here, but you pretty much like you can do that. This is where it really matters. And then the timing for this, when you roll, you'll take a step, and then like when Drake's left leg is moving past his like center of gravity or center of mass of his body, that's when you can inspect again. You just kind of practice and you'll kind of see, but that's kind of what we figured out. So like the soonest you can roll again. Otherwise, if you're holding inspect, you're walking slower. So you want to like just barely tap it. And then I kind of screwed up the timing on this, but you'd kind of get, like when you get to the second stairs, maybe I can still show it. You can actually jump here, and then you can jump on this one. So The rolls kind of just work out if you followed like my exact movement, more or less. That like when you get to those stairs, it'll work out so you can have those 2 jumps. Then this chapter, there is a pretty big skip here, but definitely not going to cover it for this like basic tutorial. It is very difficult skip. I would not recommend learning it until you've kind of gotten pretty good at everything else.
There's no way we're getting across
It is a 5.5 minute time save, but again, it is very difficult and it's not super consistent. So for learning purposes, I would definitely just go this way. So allow you to actually finish runs and stuff.
Oh, you did it. Nice.
So as soon as he clears, we can just jump across. If you're quick enough, you can beat him on the ladder, but you have to wait for him anyways, so
Hope you know where you're going, buddy.
you're probably best to just wait, because if you don't beat him down the ladder, he will just push you off and you'll fall and die. And then the checkpoint for this whole section until we get to the wolves coming up is like right before he throws that rope to swing across. So
Oh, jeez.
you do just kind of like want to wait on him. But you just have to wait for him to get to this ice block, and then at that point you can go as fast as you want. Can't go too fast right here, but then come up this way. You can beat him there. He can be a little annoying, but you want to roll down to this center part and you'll hit the checkpoint or the cutscene.
Looks like we're on the right track, but there's nothing here.
And then one thing you can do,
What Schaefer meant.
so coming up, there's a small little skip. Saves a little bit of time. It's
Sure.
kind of just like a timing
Those things
thing.
bite, you know.
It's not super difficult. It only loses a little bit of time if you screw it up. But to do it, if he will let me up, he's going to throw the rope and swing across. And I stand right behind him for this. Like, as soon as he lets go of the rope, you need to be, like, running to jump over there. So, like, I'm going to do it now. And then you're just going to, like, run this way. And basically, we're trying to beat him to this rope. And then as soon as Drake touches the rope, you're going to press X. And it's kind of, like, weird to see what just happened. Normally, if you do this and he's in front of you, just wait till he swings across, grab the rope. The only reason, like, normally what happens is you're just going to follow Tenzin. But if you do what I just did, so, like, you get in front of him, you press X the moment Drake touches the rope, it actually swings you out further to the right. And that pushes Drake far enough that if you don't do that, Tenzin will land where you do, and he will just force you off the ledge to your death. So it's a small benefit. It just lets you get in front of him and kind of just get to the next cutscene faster.
These are snow boots, not track shoes.
This is like a pretty long, boring chapter. So any small time save in this chapter, if you're not doing the skip for this, is nice.
Dead a long time. The Chintamani stone. Must have been one of Schaefer's men.
And then once this goes, you just hit X. I'd hit left. Make sure you're like not too close to the edge so you don't have that happen. And then you're gonna come over here. And then there is a skip here. I wouldn't even recommend it. I don't even know if I'm gonna show it in this video. Probably won't, but you can like
Speak that.
you can like hold triangle. Like when you hold triangle that whole time, you're calling Tenzin over. And if you like let go and then like angle the stick and press it again, it will like almost pop you up where you basically high enough that you can reach this ladder without Tenzin. I will probably show it in the other video. Like it saves like 10 seconds at most, but it's like a really difficult trick to do. But if you like really don't want to do chapter 17 skip, do not do that. It might not be a bad idea to learn that. But when you get here, jump across. You want to grab, like, normally you'll grab this one, and then if you don't move, you can press circle to drop straight down. And then I kind of just hold left and jump, and you'll just kind of end up over here. And then there's a small little thing we can do here. We're going to jump, and I kind of line myself up with this stake here. So you see that like how Drake's head is like right even with this. If you line yourself up here and then just press left and jump, you'll actually just jump to the next platform instead of having to climb around and down. So now you can just come here, you can roll, and then just press triangle to come straight into this.
I got you. Yeah, there you go. You owe me one, pal.
And then coming up, this is like the most infamous rope in the game. This is why nobody likes going this way. This rope is essentially too close to this, like way too close to this platform that we're standing on. So it's really weird. So how you want to do this is I jump at it the first time, and then like when you get to, you don't want to be at the peak of your jump, but like as you're getting there, that's when you want to press jump to clear the landing. If you do mess that up and you have to redo it, like I'll just show you. Like say you screwed it up and you died, you would, when you're in this position, you actually don't jump. The only time you would jump is when Tenzin swings it out from you. Like in this case, you just walk onto it. That's like the really weird part about the rope. But like as you're like going up to your peak is when you want to jump. That's kind of the secret with this rope. And then if we hold right, we can actually beat Tenzin up here. So quickly run over that so we don't have to wait for him. And then because we don't have a gun, we're just gonna run and jump. Or really just jump, but make our way this way.
What the hell was that?
And we'll jump across the gap here to the wolves. Small little time save, I guess, instead of going around.
This? What did this? Yeah, come on.
And then I'm just going to keep holding forward and jump. One thing to be careful, I do not know why it happens, is sometimes the camera will like slam. Yep, right there. I didn't press anything and the camera went straight to the right. Sometimes that happens, so you just need to be careful when you're jumping off of these that that doesn't happen again. Because you might get ready to jump forward, the camera turns, and then you just jump to your death. So just be careful, like that can happen. I don't know why. I think it's maybe the camera positioning, it just like hits the ceiling and tries to correct itself. I'm not sure.
All right, just stay here. Here.
Okay, so now that we're here, instead of going to the left, which is the normal way, we're going to jump down to the right, roll cancel, and we can actually skip this whole area if we just roll up this rock. So about like right here is when you want to roll. We're going to just be rolling up this slant here. Kind of like this. And you kind of like mash X at the end, and that literally just gets you enough height that you can just get up here and we can skip that whole thing. So now we can just kind of run across. And then we need to pick up this gun because normally you'd get one earlier for the Yeti fight, but you don't actually have access to one until then.
That'll work.
And then one thing you can also do, very small skip, if you stand about like right here and just jump up, you can grab this instead of having to climb on these. It's a little finicky, like kind of just have to practice a little bit to get a feel for that. And then the only other thing we're going to do is we're going to do a journal extend, so make sure you're aimed first and then press journal before you walk off the edge. And you're kind of aiming for this side and you'll just kind of go around. And then now that we have a gun, we're going to run a gun. And then when you see the current time, you saw it just hit 0, we're going to do a restart checkpoint. And this is going to move us forward, but more importantly, it's going to warp Tenzin forward so we don't have to wait for him. Roll down the stairs, roll cancel, and then when we step on this platform, we're immediately going to restart checkpoint. And this is probably going to be the next hardest thing to learn. If you really wanted to, you could go the normal route. You'd open this, you'd climb up. I wouldn't recommend it. Like, it's better to just learn this because at some point you're going to have to. But this can be a little bit challenging to learn because we are going to do a zip. So you're going to come over here. We're going to be jumping this way. So essentially we're just going to be running off this edge, and then right at the last second we're just going to jump. But like, you're almost like off when you jump, and you'll grab right here. And this is where you can just pull yourself up. That's honestly not as difficult as it looks, but that's also not the difficult part. This portion right here is the really tough part about this zip. The main difference is when we've been talking about doing zips, we've been talking about like zip airwalks essentially. So standing on a corner, moving really fast, but then doing it infinitely because we're doing an airwalk. We only have one gun, so we can't actually do an airwalk. But we can do the zip portion, which is actually works for this. So how this works, we're going to get in this corner and we're going to zip around this corner and come this way. And the goal is to stop like right in the center of this pillar. You have to make it this far to be able to make the ledge. Like essentially what we're doing is there's like an invisible platform on this edge that we're going to jump to. And then we're going to roll down to like, I think it's this one. We'll roll down to this one and we're basically making our way down onto these stairs without dying, instead of having to go all the way around the room to slowly work ourselves down there. So to get into this corner, to actually like, you have to be, it's really hard to get in this corner properly. So the way I do it is I will actually like roll into this corner and then I start turning the camera so it's like facing behind me. If you aim when you're like kind of faced out towards the room, he'll actually, like the camera will push you out and you'll drop on this ledge, which you do not want. So I wait till I'm behind like that. So if you do it like in a bad position, he'll drop on the ledge. So I'll roll over this, I'll turn the camera, and then I also hold down left while I'm aiming. And I'm holding down right now and I cannot go any further back. So I know I'm like perfectly in this corner. And how I do this, everyone has a little bit different aim. I like aiming right here. So where this points, I aim just to the right of it. And then what I'm going to do is as soon as I let go, you can actually just let go and sit here. I'm going to press right. Like I'm going to do it really quickly and immediately press journal. And the speed at which you do this does influence how far you will zip. So press right. Okay. It is better if you do this like right after you're done aiming. I'm pretty sure you can do this without. It's better to not just kind of sit there like I was. So I'm going to do this. So immediately as I get out of this, right, journal, and you can see I just zipped across. And so now when I tilt the camera, I didn't jump, but you could see that was the pillar that I was aiming for. So I was actually far enough there. The biggest issue that people have with this is they do not get the distance. And a lot of it is like the setup I did works really well for me. Everyone has a little bit different setup. Because when I do that, it allows me to just hold straight right and then press journal. But the hardest part is like pressing right and then pressing journal happen almost immediately. Like there is like no downtime in between. There is a little bit easier way. People jump into this corner. It can be a little bit easier. It's a little bit nicer when you try to turn the corner because you can kind of see like it's giving me issues right now with just staying on the ledge. Actually, yeah, so sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes it switches. I'm looking to the right and now I can actually back into the corner a little bit easier. I think that's how I normally do it, but aim here. Yeah, as soon as I do this, right and journal. And then I'm going to just start spamming X. Now I'm jumping over here. And I just landed on a platform. So at this point, this is what you want. So again, the hardest part is getting the distance on that zip. You have to be at least to that front column or that last pillar. You have to at least be even with it. It doesn't matter at which point. If you're at the very back, you might not make this platform. But generally, as long as you're even with that column, you will make this. When we're here, you're just going to literally roll forward. So I just kind of aim this way. You don't have to look at anything in specific, but just roll. And we're going to land on another platform. And then now that we're on this platform, we're going to roll up and to the left. So we're on this lower platform and I'm going to hold down right. You need to be in this corner here. And maybe show you what we're hanging on. We're like on this weird point here. So we're as far to the left as we possibly can go. We can't crawl around this. But you see like, you can kind of see like behind me, those stairs at the lower left is where we're aiming. So we're trying to work our way down there. So once you can't go any further left, you're going to get yourself up and then aim to like the left of like this pressure plate. So I kind of aim like, it doesn't really matter. Maybe like a foot or 2 feet to the left, just far enough left, like You just don't want to be aimed at the pressure plate because, again, if you're aimed too far to the left, you'll basically just hit this wall. And we need to go just far left enough that we're kind of landing to the left of the wall. So I aim over here, and then this is pretty similar to the zip. We're going to do a downwards journal extend. So as soon as I let go of this, I'm going to press forward, and then almost immediately after, I'm going to press journal. So press forward, journal. And you can see, like, right there, I'm going to pause. You could see Drake physically walk downwards. And that downwards walk brings us just low enough that when we jump out of this journal extend, we land down here without dying. If you do not get that journal, like that downwards journal extend, you will actually die when you land here. So that's pretty much the whole thing. It's pretty, like, it's a lot to learn. But once you get it, it's a pretty, like, rewarding skip and stuff. So once you get that, you'll restart when you get on the pressure plate, and then you can just come this way. When you get to this last one, if you want to, you could just jump to the left. It's really weird, even though you're supposed to jump to the right. You can hit the cutscene faster jumping to the left. No idea why it extends that far, but it does. And then when these raise, I actually start hitting a little bit left, because it's gonna, like, the camera's gonna, or right, the camera gets a little wonky, and it can kind of, like, affect when you jump if you're just holding forward. And then you're just gonna jump across these. And then when you get to the, like, first step, jump, roll, cancel, and then roll into the room, and that'll put you right into the checkpoint. And then from here, roll straight left.
There's a switch.
Really weird. I just grabbed that upper ledge, and then you're just gonna come up here, and I grabbed the part, like, right here at the very first stair, and this is where I do this. So where I have the pistol out, we're basically gonna do what we did in chapter 9 for the light puzzle, but we don't need a grenade for this. So we're gonna do a journal launch with an airwalk.
We gotta get the hell out of
So
here.
we're gonna stand on the edge, and again, because we're doing this straight to the right, we can sit here as long as we want. So you can kind of sit here and position yourself. You have that, and you're thinking about what buttons you need to hit for this. So it's going to be switch weapons, so right. And then you're going to press right, and then you're going to hit journal. We don't have to do the grenade this time. You could press grenade if it's not bad to press it for muscle memory, but since we physically don't have a grenade, nothing will happen. But we're going to sit here, and we're going to do that. I pressed journal a little... Oh, well. Yeah, I pressed journal a little too late. So, switch guns, and then there we go. And then you'll just literally go up to the ceiling, and you'll just hit the... This will actually put you at the cutscene for the elevator.
I got you.
Then you're pretty much done with the chapter at this point. The only additional thing is this. Until your screen turns white, you don't need to shoot. And you just need to shoot him twice. So once he hits you, just start spamming shoot. Like right now. And I hold a little right, so that first bullet has a better chance of hitting him. But you don't need to shoot on the first time. It's on timer. Like, it'll hit you. And then you start spamming triangle for the cutscene. And now we're at this chapter, chapter 19. So we're gonna just run this way. You can run and gun. We want to get to this guy to just kick off his helmet. When you're on a slope like that, you can literally just run up to him and get the kill. So it's pretty nice. We're gonna kill him and restart the checkpoint. That's gonna just progress the game so we can keep moving on, but it's also gonna despawn like all of those enemies. And then I like to kill this guy because he has an M4. M4 has a lot better recoil when you're doing this, but just keep running this way. Don't really need to kill anybody. It's nice to pre-fire to the right because that guy can maybe swing out and hit you, which you don't want. And then here, we do need to kill these enemies. So kill the rocket guy. Don't reload like that. I kill the rocket guy, the guy on the left, and then I kill those two. And then you can just hip fire these guys. You don't need to worry about this. And then instead of waiting for Tenzin, if we just get into the wall here, you can do this with a pistol or a long gun. I like using a long gun, but most people use a pistol. You just kind of aim to the left here, and you're going to hold up left. Oh, hold on. You have to aim a little bit further through. So the gun's like sticking through. You're going to hold like up, let go of aim, and then press circle, and you'll just clip through the wall. It's a little weird. And then you're going to climb over to like right in front of these beams here. And we're just out of bounds right now, so we're going to come up over here. And then what we're going to do is I'm aiming this way, we're going to pretty much run and jump this way. You want to jump right at the edge here. So we're going to do that, and then get ready to turn the camera. It's kind of weird. So like you want to have the camera facing this way, and then when you know you're about to clip in, basically when you pass this wall, you're going to turn the camera to the right, and it's going to load the rest of the level back in. If you do it too early, you will get stuck behind this wall and die. So you kind of just have to like play with it a little to know like exactly when midair that you need to turn the camera. And then here we're going to get in cover here, and we're going to just hold back, and then you can kind of aim like I'm kind of just looking at the grass. I'm going to hold back, let go of aim, and then press circle. And I'll clip through the ground here, or through the wall into the ground. And then to get out of this, if you hold down right, press circle, and then like immediately hold up and keep spamming circle, Drake will take cover here, which will pull you out of the ground. And then we can just continue on through the rest of this chapter. So nothing too crazy, but it takes a little bit to get used to the clips. And then don't really need to jump, but kill these guys. Still not. Okay. Didn't think I killed him. If you can get his Uzi, it's kind of nice to have. When you get the timing for, I don't even think you need to stand in cover, but you can kind of time this. Yeah, there's an Uzi right here if you want it. I like doing Uzis for runs and get like run and gun because you can just hold it. We're just gonna kill these guys so they don't punch us. And reload when you have time. And we're just going to keep making our way this way. As long as you're fast enough, the tank is not going to blast you in the face here. Which, you're kind of just moving at a decent pace like I was. You're not going to have any issues. We're going to run through the middle here. And we really just need to kill this guy. If anyone gets close to you, you might have to worry about it. And then we're just going to get onto the bridge here, and that'll hit a checkpoint. And then we're going to hold down. And then this is a little Tenzin RNG here. We usually get to the window at the same time as him, but he has to fully climb through before we can hop that. So it's a little annoying. And then what we're going to do here is kill this guy, pick up the ammo, and then when you get onto the rug, restart checkpoint. And basically all this does is just move Tenzin forward. So we basically just... He gets to this animation faster. Otherwise you just wait here like 3 or 5 seconds doing nothing. Then here we're just gonna run and gun. I'm gonna switch back to the Uzi for this, just because it's easier. There is another guy that drops Uzi ammo, in case you're low. So you can just run and gun. There's 2 guys here, and then this 3rd guy is what you want. So you can pick up.
Where did he go?
And then you can kind of jump from this ledge. You can actually make it all the way down there so you don't have that happen. And then one little trick you can do, this isn't... If you jump from like about here and aim for the ledge, you can like just kind of like run along the edge. But if you screw it up at all, you die right there. That is, believe it or not, a lot trickier than it looks. So that will happen. If you keep dying or whatever, like by all means just shimmy. Like it's like 3 seconds at most. But it's just a small little trick. And then as soon as we hit this, we're gonna just run. So this is like very, you gotta do this relatively quickly because the tank will actually kill you. Bro, instead of going there, as soon as we get to the grass, we're gonna roll. So we're gonna come up this way and then start spamming jump a little bit. And then you're gonna kind of hug this corner. So you can kind of see like my screen started turning white. If you're a little bit slower, the tank can't actually kill you. But we're gonna make our way this way. We're gonna jump into the road. Keeping the same pace, we're actually far enough of the tank that, again, if you're too slow to that point, the tank can still kill you. So we're gonna kill all these guys. We need the rocket, but these guys are super annoying. So grab this and then stand in this back corner, and then just shoot it at this wall. And there's RPG ammo here, so we'll just infinitely keep spawning. And this is also one thing I haven't talked about. You can speed up your like shooting by, or it's kind of like reload canceling. So like I'll shoot this and then normally, let me see if I can find a second one. There we go. So if you shoot this, as soon as like the ammo at the top turns white, if you switch guns and switch back, you can shoot again. Otherwise, like if you don't, you have to sit here and wait for the animation of Drake finishing his reload. So it just kind of, it adds up over the course of a run when you have like single shot stuff or just weapons in general that you have to reload. But now we're 21. There is a, I'm going to say an advanced strat for this. Kind of crazy that it was found, but we are not going to be doing that. I'm just going to recommend what I'm doing now. So kill the guys, come in here. There is a, if you want to see like what this chapter can look like, it's about, you can see the record that I have is a minute 11. Probably do like 106. But it is tough. So I would just recommend when you're learning that you just take the auto scroller, just ride the cars. The game will pretty much tell you like when you need to jump. The car will get hit. The car you need to jump to will crash into you, and then you just wait. Just go this way, your life will be much easier.
That's not good.
But yeah, this, like, if you do it this way, it's, you're just gonna literally follow the cars. And then when you get to this car, you can kind of just take aim here. And if you hop over this, if you wait until, like, you see how, like, Drake turned his arm to, like, look behind him? Once he does that, that's when you can actually jump. And then, if you do it any sooner, then you'll just jump to your death. And then just pretty much shoot all the cars. If you get lucky, you can launch one of these things to the sun. So, gravity is really weird with this gun. There we go. Not crazy launch, but... And then once he shoots you off, you could jump up here if you want, and you're just going to jump across Rolena's car. So it's pretty straightforward chapter. Again, there is an advanced strat for that, which seems insane. But now we're 22. We're getting pretty close to the end. So right away with this, I like to hold like upright, so you can kind of see like the angle I'm holding. You're gonna hold upright and jump twice.
You got it?
And this is kind of a little setup to get this, like, there's a little like ledge shimmy here. This just is a nice setup to skip it. But you hold upright, you can jump twice, and then you can like tap inspect. And then if you just hold forward and jump when you're at the edge, it literally just like bypasses that whole shimmy. It's pretty nice.
Who hasn't checked in?
And you can just come up here and kill these guys. You want to just run and gun, don't worry about being in stealth. And then I try to grab the pistol from that guy, and then I just leave the other two. As long as Elena doesn't kill them, you can just keep running gunning, but if she does, like, you may need to just jump. And then there's a strat here, so this fight, as soon as we cross the bridge, we're gonna or actually, you don't even need to do it for this one. So, as soon as you cross, we're gonna kill these 3 guys, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So, the goal is to kill 10 enemies, but we kind of break this down, so you kill 8, 1, then 1. So, we're at 4 right now. Come around this way, you can get a grenade here. 5, 6, 7, 8. So, we killed 8. If you heard it, Elena said there's more of them. And you can see in the top of my screen that more are spawning. So we're going to kill one of these guys. So we're going to kill one. And then Elena's going to say something else. And when she says there's a machine gun, you can kill another. Ideally, you don't kill the big guy because he takes more bullets. But you're going to kill 8. That will spawn the next wave. You'll kill 1 and you'll wait till she talks again. And then you'll kill 1 more. And when you do that, you can restart checkpoint. And that basically, like, is the requirement to get to the next portion of the game. And then we'll make our way this way. We're just gonna kill all these guys. And then if you can pick up the deagle here, it's very useful for what's coming up. And pick up grenades. I missed that grenade. And then stand up here, and the deagle will one-shot these guys. Might be a little finicky with the bigger guys, but this is much faster than using the machine gun, believe it or not. And I like saving the ammo. You don't have to. Did I not kill everyone? Okay. Once you kill everyone, if you're low on grenades, like, once Drake goes from, like, the crouched over to standing up, you can restart checkpoint. So if you do need a grenade, there is, like, this one here that will respawn. And you don't really need to have the deagle. I just like having it. You will get one later, but you don't really need it. It's nice for later fights. So now what we're going to do, you need the grenade because we're going to do an airwalk. So I stand about, like, right here. Kind of like just at the end of this snowy portion. I kind of aim about like right here on the brick, and we're going to do an airwalk. So the tough part about this, and I actually just screwed it up, is if you don't hold forward enough on airwalks, like if you aren't holding fully forward, you'll actually like walk downwards and stuff, which you can see them happening. And if you hit the water or the left, like that mountain on the left, the cliff, you will just instantly die, as you just saw. So you want to prevent that. Doing these takes a little bit of practice. I'm not perfect at it, but like you just kind of want to hold forward a little bit more, and you can like slightly delay your journal press to make sure you're like having that full momentum. So you can see right now I'm not walking downwards, and then that angle I had is just kind of walking me this way. You can see I just like barely didn't touch that wall. This is the angle I used to get like perfectly to this corner as fast as possible, but you could take a much less angle, like aim more to the right of the pillar, and you'll just get here slower. But once you hit this corner of the wall, you're going to restart checkpoint. Then we're going to come over here. And then we're just going to do a journal extend. So just make sure you have a gun out before you cross that. You could shoot with the main gun or whatever. And you'll grab this ledge, hopefully. There we go. And then we'll climb up this way. And then we're going to do another airwalk over here. So I stand about right here, and then I kind of aim to like the right of this beam or whatever. Oh, we're doing that. And then you can wait until you get to the wall, but you can kind of time this. So I'll throw it to like the right or left of where I'm going to end up, and I will pull you that way. And then if you go to the right, you can come up this way, or if you're so far to the left, you could go around. You can see the ladder right there. You can climb up the normal way. I'm going to come this way. And then if you do need more grenades, there's 2 over here. You only need 1 grenade for this. The next part we're going to do is a Zip Airwalk, so it's not a bad idea to have more in case you mess up the inputs. It's useful to just have more grenades, so you mess up, you don't have to like go restart, because they're from pretty much... Let me go back over here. I don't know why I cannot run forward. Pretty much when you get here, you hit a new checkpoint, and at any point if you die from there to the end of this chapter, there is no checkpoint, so it can be kind of brutal, but this is pretty much what I'm going to show for this, because the alternative for this is... I'm not even going to say an easier strat. I think this is like not that difficult of a strat, and this is worth learning. So you'll come over here, and we're going to set up for a zip. So you can kind of see, like, if I start at the middle, I can't move any further right, but if I move back a little, I can, like, now all of a sudden I'm like right against it. So how I do this is I like line my foot up so it's kind of like even with this rock, and then I aim here. You don't really need to aim at that point, you can aim less, but it'll kind of fix the camera, and I'll usually bring it back. And then we're just going to do an airwalk. And then, well, screwed that up. But yeah, now you can see this is the checkpoint you normally get. So if you mess up any of that, you come back here. So same spot. I'll aim here or whatever, and then fix the camera. And then now I'm going to not screw this up. Okay. And so pause when you get across the bridge really quickly, and you'll go up the stairs. And then as soon as you like get to the top of the stairs, you're going to, like, I just hold up, and you're going to count like 16 cycles of this. So like from options, you just hold up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is way longer because I was explaining it, but you count to 16. And then when you're done, you would unpause. And that's like the earliest point at which this level will load. And we're basically doing that so this wall right here loads in. Because otherwise, if you don't wait that amount of time, the wall won't load in, and then you'll just infinitely keep going. But when that happens, you'll throw the grenade there, and you'll drop down. And then you'll just kind of come over here. And then the easiest way to get onto this next portion, you can do a journal launch this way. But I'd honestly find it easier if you just take out the normal gun, you kind of push yourself to the left here, you can jump up on this, and then just hold forward and do a journal extend. If you don't like doing journal extends, you can just do a journal launch. And then when you get to this edge here, you're just going to press X and not a direction. And when you pull yourself up, you're going to aim and just press like slightly to the right. And then you're going to jump up. And then once you get up here, you're not going to move. And you're going to take out the shotgun, and we're going to do another airwalk. I aim like right here at this like first line. You don't want to be too far to the left or too far to the right. You could probably aim here at like worst case scenario, but I like aiming here. This generally works for me every time. And we're going to do another airwalk. This is on a slope, so again, if you can slightly delay your journal press a little bit just to make sure you have full forward momentum, because if you don't and you start walking downwards on this, it will not work. So do this, and we'll kind of know right here. So I think I am walking down. This might not work. It might be just at not much of an angle that I can get it, but we're going to kind of walk here, and then you see this like box in the middle of the screen. Yeah, I think I'm too low. Barely missed it, but once you kind of get even with this, we'll see if this will work. This might be just too low. So once like the color changes, you're going to go into photo mode, and you're going to just wait here. I kind of sit above exit. You can pause here as well, but I just like doing it through photo mode. And then when this loads in, like it will render the next area. So you'll see this, it'll exit. And then I am actually too low. The current time will hit 0, and then you can just restart checkpoint. I waited, or like I said, I'm too low because I didn't quite hold forward enough. So it's gonna, I would restart back. You can see I didn't get the checkpoint because that's 3 minutes ago. Or if you wait too late, you'll hit this wall and die. So I have to redo all of that again. So this kind of shows you, it does it. And it takes you all the way back here. So now that we're here, we're going to aim this spot again. Yeah, that should hopefully work. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of see I'm not going down. You can kind of tell if you just kind of looked at those little like windows or whatever. I was pretty much even with those. This is a little bit to the right. Hopefully that's not a problem, but should be fine. We should be fine. So we'll sit in this. When we see the rest of that, or the background change, we're going to quit photo mode. There we go. And the pause timing, by the way, is like when you're kind of like at the center of this arch, that's where you kind of want to pause it, or at least for me, that's worked very consistently. And you can see right there. So now the current time hits 00. Restart checkpoint, I got it. So now when I restart, we are now in chapter 23. Now we're here. Now I'm gonna jump across. Gonna make our way up this way.
Elena, you there?
Yeah, I'm over here. I can see you.
What the hell are those guys doing?
Looks like they're pulling the statues down, trying to find the secret entrance.
The geniuses are right on top of it. Well, here goes nothing.
Okay, and then immediately we're just gonna hop over and we're gonna come this way. Don't worry about killing these guys. This guy's normally not in your way. So you're gonna come this way. Try to jump on the left side a little. You want to land here, but you're gonna come up on the right of that and jump here. I might die. And we're just running up here to kill this guy. This guy is what gets us the checkpoint. So I got caught on a few things, but I was trying to show you that that's the route you would take. You would just not get caught on literally everything. Then once you kill him, you're going to take cover. There is ammo right here, so grab the deagle ammo. Grab the rocket launcher and then kill one guy. And then you're going to come here to this wall. And then we're going to do a cover flip like we did in chapter 9. So you actually need to be in between these pillars. You're going to move to the right, let go of aim. Oh. Move to the right, let go of aim, and then press circle. And you'll clip down below. Once you do this, we're going to run towards this edge here. But we need to have the camera face this way. It sounds a little weird, but having it this way makes it so the area that we're going to doesn't load in too soon. That was actually weird. So we're gonna come this way. You can kind of see there's some ledges here, and then at this point we can turn the camera back. So actually this kind of shows you why you don't want to turn it. Normally you can kind of turn it back when you get to about this spot, but it's being a little finicky. But if you miss this jump, you'll die. So you want to, like, we're going from this ledge and jumping onto this. We're just kind of bypassing that fight, and then we're going to jump to this corner here. And you're going to shimmy past it once, and then shimmy like one more time, and then you're just going to drop to your death. And you're going to see Elena actually just spawned in, and we actually just hit a checkpoint. So now we're going to come up this way after we've gotten that. You're going to, if you do it quickly, that'll help, because you can actually kill these guys with a grenade launcher. I don't know how he didn't die. And then these guys are here. Try not to kill myself, but we'll do that. And then when this guy touches the ground, you can shoot him.
Thanks for the rope, boys.
And then we'll just climb the ladder.
Nothing scary at the top.
And then jump once, and when you get to about like the window or whatever, we're gonna restart checkpoint. And that's just gonna respawn Elena, so we don't have to wait for her as much. And then we're just going to kind of run this way. So we've skipped a lot pretty much in the last 2 chapters. We bypassed a lot of the fights. So just kind of run this way.
We're getting close, I know it.
Still kind of have to wait for Elena, so we're just getting down to this door.
I need your help.
She'll be here in a little bit, but I just kind of spam triangle until she shows up. And then immediately, you're gonna just want to run and gun. We're gonna go to the right first. And press triangle. There's a little thing we have to turn. And then we're gonna go over here around the rubble. And we're gonna turn this one. And when we do that, we get a cutscene. You can actually run during this cutscene. So if you hold like upright, you can run to the ball to interact with it. And then we're gonna come this way. If you jump from like the bottom of this, you can get like a pretty low jump onto this. That was pretty high, but you can get down like right here. You can even grab this lower ledge. The main benefit is when we get to this prompt here to lift Flynn up.
Wait for me.
It kind of puts this whole chapter on a cycle. So the faster you get here, the faster Flynn gets to this.
Give me a boost,
So
buddy.
you want to try to get to this point as fast as possible. And then if you just stand here to the right and wait for this boulder to fall, you don't actually need to climb it. Once it falls, you can just climb up here to the side.
No, wait for me.
And then come up here. I would say do not press X to get on this. Drake will just naturally do it. Because if you press X, he will step on it, and then you'll just jump over the edge, and you'll actually not make this jump and have to redo all of that. So
Get ahead of me.
learn from my mistakes, I guess. And we're just gonna keep making our way this
Better not be
way.
leading me into a dead end. Through here. I don't think you're gonna get your stomach through there.
Then we're just kind of waiting for Flynn to get through.
Help me move this.
And then this part right here is a little weird because the camera gets inverted.
Okay, teamwork.
So if you roll off the
Like
edge
the good
here,
old days, eh?
or just run off, you can kind of just like hold forward. If you have the camera enough, you'll just jump onto this ledge or grab the bottom. And then one thing you can do is just kind of like, you can actually just make this whole jump. Otherwise, you can angle a little to the left to grab the ledge there instead of doing a full shimmy. And then just get in cover here, and Flynn will very quickly
Stonehenge, isn't it?
cross the path
No.
to
Help me push
come
this.
help. So once this is all the way against, we can come up here.
Come on, girly girl. There you go. Statue of your mom.
And when we get to that one, we can jump across. Shouldn't switch you like it just did for me, but
Oh, look, it's a life-size statue of your
it's kind of
Hope you can make
working
that
our
jump
way
on your
through.
own.
And there's not really any
I'm
skips
sure
for
as hell
this,
I'm not gonna
but
help you.
I'm gonna sit here. We're gonna mash triangle again, waiting for Flynn to catch us so we can proceed. There he is.
All right, let's open it up.
Then here's the one actual puzzle you have to memorize.
Here's another door.
So we go to the left here. So there's only 3 of the 6 cylinders we have to turn. We go to the middle one. You turn it right to the once, and then once you turn it, you start pressing back, and you're gonna jump to this far right one. You're gonna turn this one twice to the right.
So does my boredom.
After you immediately get the turn again, you can just kind of start pushing down, jump across. We're gonna go to the center one on this right side now, and we're gonna turn this one to the right once. And then that's all you have to do.
What's that? Just clean out the floor. Come on.
Then
Make yourself
jump over
useful.
here, and you want to grab this side instead of the side Flynn's on, because it's less distance for him to run. It's pretty minor, but
What is this?
once you start getting serious, every second counts.
There we go. Sounds like water.
And then once we get to this point, we're gonna skip this, and then this is on a timer, so there's nothing we can do to speed this up. But to make your life easier, instead of having to like run and dodge these guys, because they can kill you if you were to just sit there. If you just come over here and just like grab this, if you jump onto this railing here, the Yetis can actually not reach you. So you can just see he will just sit below us. We could shoot him all we want, but he cannot actually hit us. So we're just gonna sit here. So this is about, I think it's about 45 seconds to a minute. I don't know the actual time, but we just pretty much sit here, and eventually, once you get close, you can start hitting triangle. kind of hear the music shift though, like right before it's gonna happen. Okay, so now we're getting close. It's kind of like the music cue. You got like 5 seconds when you hear that or so. And we're gonna skip and we're gonna move forward. Don't want to do that. Again, roll up the stairs where we can.
Keep going. Keep going.
Okay, so now that we're on this, I'm gonna hold down right, or sorry, down left, and you're just gonna mash roll and then triangle once you like. So like he launches and you'll like physically see him roll, and that you'll just kind of roll and grab the gun, and then you can just run and gun these guys. Die pretty easy, and then when you hit around, it's like 46 to 48 seconds. You'll just kind of finish this. Yeah. So almost done. Kind of 2 chapters left. Got pretty much 1 main skip left, and then
Okay.
pretty much
We need to get the hell
All
out
the-
of here now.
all of the harder skips.
I couldn't sleep for days after I saw that last time.
You can pick up this gun here. Don't worry about picking up that one. And then you're going to come this way. And you're going to throw a grenade about like right there. Hopefully I did it right. I missed. So you can actually kill both of them. If you don't, just shoot them with the AK.
Take cover. Here.
And then just shoot them. They don't take too many bullets to kill.
What are we supposed to do? Any ideas?
Just be careful. For some reason, if you get too close to them, they get hyper armor. It's really weird, so they take a lot more bullets to kill. You could throw a grenade at them. You just find it easier to shoot them sometimes if you can't quite get the grenade throws. But now that we're here, we're going to do a journal extend. Normally, you'd have to come across and around. You get up like right here, and then you need to... I am about like right here. If you're too far to the right, you'll hit this tree, and if you're too far to the left, you'll hit this tree. Kind of aim about like right here. Yeah, you want to have the long gun out. We're just doing a journal extend, so just hold forward and then start spamming journal, and you'll just kind of like wedge you right in between the 2 trees so you don't get stuck on one. And we're just gonna come this way and run and gun as much as you can.
What is that?
The sap is flammable, just like the resin we found.
And then one thing we can do here, so grab the pistol and you're just going to take cover here, and then you're just going to aim and start looking to the right, and you'll see like right there, you saw how like Drake, like the camera almost like popped forward. That's like Drake actually clipping through. So hope that was weird. So we'll pop through. I go a little bit more, and then you just like, you hold left, let go of aim, and press circle, and you'll just clip through the other side. And we're gonna come this way. So one more airwalk we have to do. I'm gonna show you. There's 2 different ones you can do. I find this one easier. We're gonna do a diagonal journal launch. So I screwed that up. So you're gonna do it pretty much immediately, but you'll stand on this. When he staggers, hold up right and then press journal. Like you'll do it immediately after you see the stagger, and you'll get up here. You can do it. You can climb up this way, and you can do it off this. I just don't like this because it's such a skinny platform, and it is slightly uphill. So I like coming up here. I stand on this corner, and then you kind of aim at like this column bridge or column on the bridge. And we're just going to do an airwalk. That was pretty far to the right. Hopefully that will still work. Yeah, that might not work. I hit like really far upright for some reason when I did that. But we'll just kind of wait. Like, you'll know if you got it or not. If you went too far to the right, you'll hit a death barrier. Okay, so this is what should happen. I was pretty far to the right, but I still made it on this platform. So you'll start seeing like weird trees and stuff. You can kind of wait because like until you get to this corner, you could still move. So like if I would have thrown it, I might have screwed myself up. But once you get to this corner, basically a tree and I'm gonna say like whatever this wall is, you'll throw the grenade and then you're gonna come around here to the right. And it's kind of weird to navigate, but once you get it, you'll just load into chapter 26. And then we're just gonna come down here. And now we're gonna do the Lazarevich fight. So immediately aim and throw a grenade, and then put 10 bullets in him, or 8 to 10 bullets. That'll trigger his first phase. And we're gonna kind of do that for every single phase. You'll shoot 10 bullets, so about right there. Shoot this. So there's 4 phases. We've already gotten 2 of them, and we've moved 3 feet or so. He is gonna turn the jets on, so we're gonna come this way. Shoot that, and then shoot this one. And so there's 3 phases. This is kind of like the ideal routing. I think there is a faster strat, but this is pretty consistent. And then make sure he doesn't get too close. I don't know why he's just standing here. Normally he will follow you and you'd shoot the one I was standing to. That one respawned pretty quickly, so I gotta shoot that. But that is generally what would happen. It either... Normally he would just run to you, but once you have that, you're gonna skip, and then the only thing left is this bridge run. So we'll come this way. You have to be careful. There's like one jump that it's easier to die than you'd think. So right here, just make sure you don't jump too late. You can almost jump a little early just to make sure you grab that. And then as soon as you get to the end here, you're gonna jump, and then when it makes that transition to like this view of Drake grabbing, you're gonna restart checkpoint, and then you're just gonna kill this guy. And then timing stops right as it switches to you killing that guy. So like immediately after you put the last bullet in, and you pretty much see it switch over from you stopping shooting to or kicking him off his time. Well, yeah, that's
Up we go.
that's the UC2 any percent route. That pretty much was the basic route, I'm gonna say. So
What the hell did you do back there?
I think learning everything that I pretty much showed in this, if you're just starting, is probably the best strats to learn. And then if you do start getting more serious with the run and you want to start picking up faster strats, you can kind of pick them as you want. But there's going to be another video, and that's going to show only the advanced strats. It'll show them chapter by chapter. But that will kind of go over maybe all the strats you probably see if you watch any serious runners in this game.
God, no. Lena, hold on, alright? Just hold on. Come on,
Yeah,
stay with us.
that's
You're gonna be okay.
that's
You're
everything
gonna be fine.
for this video. So,
Lena, don't do this.
enjoyed.
Lena.
Hopefully start seeing you doing some runs.
Let that